this. We'll take a look. We'll come back. We'll talk it over. And
Open
those two were way too.
Sorry, keep
way
talking.
too fiery. They were just way too. They were climbing on shit. Way too much energy. I'm like, nah, I don't have that in me to have two cats climbing, knocking my shit off. I could already see that being sad. So they were cute. But then there were these other cats that not a single person had put even one application in for.
Oh, that's like Bjorn.
They were brother and sister, and they were really cute. And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, let's come back in a week. If nobody's placed a thing, whatever, that'll be, destiny, whatever, will be, I don't know. Like, let's just give some time. But
cute kitten.
I don't know.
Cute kitty cats.
Like, she was like, "Oh, what do you want to do?" And I'm just like,
unbalanced. Sorry, keep. This is good. Okay, hello. We're ready. The name should have changed. Cool. Did you? Are they there now? There now?
No, they. You have to get approved so that they know that you're not a fucking psychopath. You're gonna put them in an oven.
Wow,
bring them home.
They let me walk Bjorn out with a crate and everything. They just went.
Wow, really?
Yep.
No, they
did.
They put a spotlight on you and say, "All right, what is this speeding ticket?" No, right. And I would rather them do that because there's probably sick pieces of shit that do take these animals home that shouldn't have. I can't imagine that. Those people, I would honestly
kick in the cock.
That's where I would start if I was a vigilante. Like, I couldn't imagine you adopt an animal, they're all happy, they come home and you do some shit to them. So I get it. I'm not worried. We'll get approved. Not a big deal. It was also very weird that what would you call it? The like bottle mom, like somebody who actually had them from when they were essentially newborns, bottle fed them, happened to be there.
That's
just
weird.
Happened to be there that day for just those two cats. So we got to ask every question under the sun. How are they? Are they house trained? Are they this? Are they that? Are they that? And I was like, okay. And we got all these answers, and it was kind of a too good of a thing to turn down. And everything's pretty much, you pay $100 a cat and everything's taken care of.
Oh my gosh, Bjorn was $15 and I walked out with him the same day. Isn't that great?
Well, oh, really?
Yep. Now I got him from the bootleg shelter.
That's why.
Yeah.
Well, see, they're microchipped. They have their vaccines. They have their voice shots. They have everything already done. So that's nice. You don't have to do anything. They're all set up. And they give free nail trimmings for life too, which I really liked. I tried to sneak in as much as I fucking could. I'm going to spend $200. You better trim my cat's fucking nails.
Wow. I've never trimmed Bjorn's once.
Oh, you're supposed to.
He has a scratch thing and they come off naturally.
Yeah.
I think people do too much for their, they do. I think most products on the market are scams designed to get people to spend money on things they don't need. Animals are fine. Cats especially. Dogs I can see because we kind of bred those to be. Sorry, am I yelling? Does it sound okay? So I'm still kind of getting balance.
I think you should, because their claws get stuck in shit, and it can actually damage their fingers. Oh,
they'll be alright.
Oh, fuck.
Bjorn will be fine.
Oh, and if not, I mean, we actually have furniture that wasn't found in a back alley. So
sure, which I cannot relate to, of course. So yes, I get it. We
actually put some money into our house.
I
don't want.
I have one thing that he has a scratch box, and then I have a bench that he started scratching, but I don't really care about it. And he only scratches, as far as I know. I haven't done a good inspection. It's kind of the nice part about buying old shit is you kind of don't care. We shouldn't give a fuck what happens to our fucking cow. How, I don't know, live in it for a bit. It's supposed to look like shit. Not like shit, but
no, I want my nice leather couch to remain pristine.
Oh, you have a leather couch sitting on that.
It's a faux leather, but it's really nice.
Fox leather? I'm just
Fox
kidding.
Leather, yeah.
I know it's not.
Fox leather.
Yeah, Fox from Fallout leather. Okay, I'm done. That's all I got. All right, he'll get on eventually, hopefully. I don't know. Maybe not.
But yeah, so she's going to name hers Roma. And mine, I'm just stealing the other cat's name for Ravella. Because I was like, fuck you. What are these odds?
Name it something Scandinavian, like me.
I don't, one for Italy and one for Iceland. No, I'll name it
That's perfect.
Sculpture.
That's awesome.
There you go, Hallgrimskirk.
No, name
That
it.
just rolls off.
I'm getting a cat and I'm naming it Concrete, and I'm getting a fox and I'm naming it Finnegan. Those are my 2 plans. Concrete is a great name.
Hallgrimskirk and Reykjavik. Come here, Reykjavik.
Reykjavik. Just name it after a fucking city. I'm sad.
is.
I want to fight the Ender Dragon.
Reykjavik. Oh, that's such a shit capital city.
Smooth
I couldn't
lighting.
wait to get out of there. It looked like it was that was the one part of Iceland I could do without. Of course, it was the fucking city. Of course, it was the man-constructed thing.
Sure.
Was the only part.
Of course.
The food was great. The shops and that shit was cool. But I'm like, it was like this brutalist architecture. Like they just took it straight from the. It looked. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? I'm like, you guys have all this culture. Build buildings that look nice. I don't know. Maybe they just don't care. They don't like. They don't want to invest the money into.
They said, yes, we need a break from nature. I don't know why I'm doing a Russian accent. It's not even a good one.
Yeah.
We are tired of beautiful.
As soon as you get out, a mile out, I remember seeing there was one subway in all of fucking. Somehow the American capitalist system found its fucking way.
Subway.
There was like a Jimmy or something like a Jimmy John.
Subway has more locations than McDonald's does worldwide.
Oh.
Yep.
There was a wing place, I remember, and then outside there was just none of that. No billboards, no. Freaking, but it was fantastic.
That's nice.
Even the gas station food was decent. It was like, yes, this is homemade.
Homemade fast. We just make food very fast. It's not fast food. It's just very quickly prepared. It's a misnomer, really. Oh, okay.
Some of it was. I was looking for for the few lucid moments that I could fucking see.
Great song. Wish you could hear.
I was looking, there's so many ingredients that I didn't find in any of even the shittiest sugary snacks didn't have high fructose, red, blue dye. It's disgusting, the food that we eat here. It was like 6 ingredients in everything. Just here's fish. It's just fish. There's no fucking preservatives.
Yeah, some mercury poisoning, but other than that,
caught it outside. There you go. Hinga dinga Durgan.
Happy Leif Erikson Day.
Promo. We saw the statue of Leif Erikson.
Cool. I'm sure he's an important guy there, right?
I think he was the guy, I believe, who discovered Iceland, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, and he said, this is beautiful. I need no one to know this exists, so I'm going to name it. And then we're going to name the icy hellhole Greenland.
Yeah.
It's genius. That was like the first prank gone wrong. I'm yelling into the mic. I need to calm down.
Right. It was gone correct. They did a good job with
or
that.
Whatever, suffering the deaths of
Viking dickheads.
Well, weren't they Vikings, I think? I don't know.
I know
the other Viking dickheads. Yeah, the enemy.
We gifted them the statue that it was right in front of Hallgrimskirk. It was this huge, beautiful, incredible church. That was the only really cool thing in Reykjavik that I really liked. Was that church. It was a beautiful, just masterful, and then a big statue that said "Gifted by America." I thought that was hilarious.
That's awesome.
That we gave them to celebrate their, I think, 1,000-year anniversary of discovery in Iceland.
Wow.
The statue of Leif Erikson. That's what that was.
There he is.
Yeah. That's what we were just talking
about. They didn't gift the church.
No. Yeah, that's we were just talking about Leif Erikson. So missing the context, I could see how that was.
Also, hello.
Hi. We have changed our profile pictures to be more fitting to the characters we want to represent.
Let's see. Dan, I still can't tell what you are. Your amorphous thing. Actually,
are you serious?
There's a figure. I can't.
It's so small on my screen. I can't tell.
Oh, it is essentially a sorcerer, essentially like a D&D sorcerer. I'm kind of doubling down on the shadow spell thing that I figured, you know what? I created this when I was like 12, and I love RuneScape, and I love Yu-Gi-Oh, and I love Magic. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to assume the kind of wizard persona that I've always wanted to be.
Nice. Hello. I'm here too.
So yeah, and Andrew is the Astro Wombat. No longer just what was your thing before? Just a rocket
It was the
ship?
rocket ship,
Now
and
yours is-
now I have like an actual Astro Wombat.
it
Wait,
is
did
an
you have
actual
someone make
Wombat
that for
Astro.
you? Or is that
No,
AI art?
it is AIR.
You son
Is
of
it
a
really?
bitch!
Yeah,
I will
it is.
kick you off this show forever.
Well, I'm not using it. I guess I am using it for profit.
So
What else
so
am I gonna
mine's
do?
not- Mine is from a.
I don't
I
know.
think it's from a
Ask me
Dungeons
to
and
make it
Dragons
for you. I
related
could have done
website,
that.
but I
Sounds good.
credited the artist in my bio, so I did everything I could.
Wait, who made that? Who made your art?
It's in my bio. I have to.
Oh.
I'm dying.
Wait,
But,
I mean, I'll commission somebody. I just don't know any artists. Otherwise,
Yeah, and I do. So there's really no excuse.
have
but-
them make me
No,
one.
it's from a Dungeons and Dragons like lore
I was gonna say,
website.
Dan, you probably should commission someone because like it's always better to have like custom stuff, even if you did credit. You know, technically they didn't give you permission to take it, so you may just want to have someone commission something like that for you,
Yeah, I can do that.
and then go from there. Like, I mean, I made my profile picture.
Oh wow.
So,
Did you?
because yeah,
Wow, nice.
my little crab.
How'd you make that?
I'm probably gonna update it. So
You drew
what I
it?
actually did, I took sort of. So I had taken a photo of a ghost crab I found at the beach a while ago, and so then I took that into Photoshop and then essentially traced over it and cartoonized it myself.
Wow, in a program or like with your hands?
No, Photoshop by hand.
Oh, Photoshop. Oh. So yeah, cool. Wow,
Yeah,
nice.
I didn't like generate or do anything like that. I essentially like colored over it.
I want to do that. I
and
just
made other-
I was messing around with one of the programs and I liked it. I also because the other one, like a lot of other people use that one, and I also had been using it for years, like you said, and kind of didn't credit them and sort of wanted something detached from anyone else. But
Yeah, I should. I plan on.
you're right. I'm a
commissioning
hypocrite
somebody.
piece of shit. You're right. You know what? If I got huge, I would do that. That way, it mattered more financially speaking. I will credit Microsoft for now for my mine. I built a bridge. I want Adam to see it. I think he'd be
So,
proud.
if anybody wants
Oh,
to see,
hang on,
holy
sorry,
fucking shit,
I
what is
just-
this?
I'll get to you, but
Oh,
No, it's
or
alright.
I'll get into Minecraft momentarily, but
This is
I
good.
set
wow, I
up
found out.
stream.
Really,
Yeah, send me
really
the
cool-
link if you have it for the.
I don't have it yet.
Okay, that's
because
fine.
I haven't
Oh
actually
my goodness, I'm
started
gonna die. So I found a
the
new
broadcast.
kind of elite archer.
starting it now.
And I'm
who's-
also
who's in and not
streaming.
sleeping.
Me,
Andrew, I
I'm
need you to go
going.
sleep.
Hold on. I didn't. You gotta warn me ahead of time. There we go.
Oh, there's a new kind of elite archer that shoots poison arrows. This is bullshit. Wow, this is a really cool. Andrew, you may, if you want to teleport and see this. Oh, that's cool. Somebody made. Wow, did the game do this? Lime glazed terracotta. That is so creative. If you put 4 in a circle, it turns it into a slice of lime.
What? Wait.
Come here
Wait.
and tell me I'm not crazy. Oh, well, come on. Wait, let me see if this did.
How do I make
may not do it.
terracotta?
Oh, it's not going to do it
You the
now.
link in our Facebook group chat.
Okay.
Or at least it looked like a slice of lime.
Although
That's so cool.
My all set up in order to do it through Discord.
Come look at this village.
This is
Bringing
your
you another
stream.
camp, whether you like it or not.
Wait, what are you bringing me? Please don't bring me all the garbage that I have to sort through.
I'm
It's-
also bringing another stack of hay bale. We
Like,
will
we don't
never need
need-
food ever again.
I don't need the lectern. I don't need the fucking.
Nope, you're getting all the brewing stands. There's nothing you can do about it.
I'm happy now in Minecraft because they finally the texture pack that I have, the people that run it or made it, they finally updated it and they fixed the issue that happened
Oh.
after Realms broke. When Realms broke, like I lost randomization in my blocks, which helps make it not look like you've placed the same exact block, like,
Oh,
30 times.
interesting.
Maybe
Yeah.
a slightly different texture, so it looks more real.
Who got the diamond
That
horse
worked,
armor?
that worked.
Oh, sorry.
Me.
Holy shit. Putting that on doesn't
They
show
fixed
up.
that, and then they also updated. Cause did you notice? You may not have. Minecraft added new blocks to the game like a month ago.
What did they add?
Or so. Yeah, they added a bunch more copper stuff. So there's copper doors now, copper trap doors,
Oh.
copper grates.
Copper
look
doors
really
were
nice.
there, I think. I've had a copper door since we started.
Really?
Yeah,
I can
and then
bring
it.
copper if
Oh
you want.
yeah, sorry.
And-
It was there since we've been doing rounds, but
Oh,
sorry,
got
it
it.
wasn't a month.
Ah,
But it's still this year they put it in there.
and
But
it
yeah, the
rusts,
Tech Spec
too.
updated
You
moves, and now it looks like Dwemer stuff from Skyrim. It looks
Oh yeah. Andrew, come look at this. This is a pretty cool village. It's like built into the. Come look at this.
okay,
Just
hold on.
TP to me.
That's at half volume too.
Who is?
I think
That's
of
at
it.
half volume because I don't want to.
I just-
on the mic.
Sorry, I'm just trying to get I'm trying to get you guys balanced too. Well, Adam probably does it as well. Okay, here we go.
Oh my gosh, there's more hay bales. Oh, I'm bringing back a stack and a half of hay. Let's go.
Where's the terracotta?
I do my.
Oh,
imbalance
so
on my end,
it's
so
not
I'll
gonna
stream
do
for
it.
fine.
Oh, hang on. Oh, it's not. I have to see. You can kind of see in your head, like it was in a perfect circle. Good band, and it made a like a slice of lime. You see how it's all like you have to
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
finagle it a little bit.
Where's the rest of them?
That's so cool.
Wait,
There's only
here.
4.
Here, I got it. I can do this. Okay, hold on. You got it. You got to do it like this, like that.
Yeah, I just don't care enough. Let me see. There you go. Look at that. It's a slice of lime. That's so cool. Or kind of. Maybe
Yeah, I'm
not.
sure
Maybe
that's
I-
what they were going for.
Oh yeah, I need to send you guys the link to the watch together.
Also, I did. Did you get my $4 for the realm? Andrew?
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, dude, so my current thing that I have is for a game that wants to be Civ. But if you do certain, like, I don't know if somebody else downloaded it or if I counted it as my download, but I got $1 per download. I got, I think, what, $6 per, like, if you hit a certain milestone, or $6. And then every dollar you spend in game up to $60, they refund you. And if you spend at least 10, they give you $30. So I made $48 off of this in 2 days. Plus 6 from the
Wow.
last one. So actually kind of, and I'm
Wow,
playing.
fuck investments. Put all my money in this shit.
Well, wait a minute. What?
I'm kidding.
No, that would be.
I don't know. It was a joke.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that.
Gracious.
You want
I
to invest
know.
in the. So, but the
Yeah,
goal
invest
would.
in Civ 7 or whatever.
The goal would be, eventually, it'd be cool to have like live reads on here, maybe, that we could all share.
That'd be cool.
Live read.
Oh, there's more fucking.
Yeah, like a
hay.
live
Look
read,
at
like where we
this.
go, hey, this is sponsored by fucking Smart Wallet or whatever. Like, as
Smart
Yeah, I
wallet.
mean-
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
Smart wallet.
Adam,
if I
quiet.
actually like the product or whatever and use it, then I'll.
You are very quiet for me, Adam.
He was loud a second ago.
Hold on.
I had him perfect, and then
It should be good now.
it's better. I think I have you turned all the way up on Discord. Yep.
I mean, I'm.
Oh, there
I
we
mean,
go.
I'm not right by my mic, but I'm like as loud as I can be.
There, now you're perfect. Do you absorb calories from smelling scented candles? Please, I'm so scared. Wow. No, you don't.
Wait. What was the
That's
question?
just some
Yeah,
Twitter.
why would you?
I don't know, some anorexic bitch.
It's retarded.
God.
All
Are
right,
we-
I
are we
want to.
live?
We're not live yet. I
I'm
am
live on
recording,
mine.
But we're not live.
Oh, I've been live for
Oh,
like
well.
20 minutes.
Oh,
I have a way also to put the Vaush video on
I know. I fucked his name up too.
in the corner of my screen while it plays, so that'll be cool. While I play Minecraft.
Okay.
I'm just thinking of shit. I don't know. I'm having fun. I have a little chat box up in case
Yeah.
anyone wants to join. I've been streaming a lot. Every time I
Fun.
play a game, I just
This
stream it.
shouldn't be fun. It's work, damn it.
No,
That
it's
thing
not.
should be
I
fun.
want to play all day. Let's see. TP 400, 70, 400.
Can you bring me some iron?
No, you can get that on your own. Oh my god, I teleported into a
I
hole.
think.
How did I? Where am
Oh, God. My dog is awfully gaseous today.
I?
Fuck. me,
Awfully
dude. That
gaseous.
smells like eggs.
I teleported into
God,
Adam's house.
that smells terrible.
Adam, you just have a hole in your house.
What?
Sounds like a shitty metalcore song.
A
What?
hole in my house. What do
Yeah,
you
you just
mean?
have like a
There's
hole
a hole in my house
I
where
don't-
you used to be.
in your kitchen. You just had like a hole. I teleported into it perfectly. It was the only.
I'll teleport
What?
you there.
I don't know. I'll show you.
Like, there's a hole in the wall?
No, like in the floor.
In the floor?
In
Oh,
the floor.
that may have been from when I accidentally teleported into like the wall, basically trying to
yeah.
get home,
Wow, that's
Oh,
crazy.
and so you didn't
and
replace.
then I didn't have the thing to replace it. Like for some reason,
Look at
Oh,
that
okay.
world.
That's fine. I'll take care of it. I
Look at
probably
it on
have
there.
whatever it is.
that
lying
may
around.
have been my bad.
Look at
I
this.
am gonna come back and run this shit back. What are our exact coordinates to like in our living room?
Wow, you would like to know, wouldn't you?
I would, yeah, so I don't have to keep running.
460, 431. 460.
Thank you. What the fuck?
Yeah, let me know when you're ready to go, Andrew. 'cause
I'm good.
I'm
Let's
to
do
go.
it. Hop in, baby. Hop in.
Dan, are you in the watch together?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you meant. Sorry, hold on. No. Wait, so it's on. You sent it in face. Oh, no, you sent it here.
No, the watch together's in the Discord. I did send that there.
Okay, so I'm
What's
gonna.
going on?
I can't send like. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about why I can or can't send it, but through what?
Okay, I
things, but-
believe I'm ready. Let's see. So I can't actually zoom
Just
in.
this getting
Whoa,
old.
what's happening? Oh, it's weird zooming out. Actually, I wish I could
Well,
like.
no, I mean you should be able to just crop the window and then make it larger, right?
I actually can't because I can only record the window itself. I haven't figured out how to.
Yeah, you just have to make another window.
Like a browser window. I did that, but I don't know.
No, you don't even need to do that. Like, don't do browser window because then it won't work.
So
With,
you mean display capture? Do that?
yeah, just do another one of those and then crop it to the wherever you have that video.
Oh, just
And
how do
then
I
resize that?
how do I display just my browser, not my game?
Well, hold on. Are you working on multiple displays?
No, so I only
just
have
one?
my one. So what I do is I just do the browser capture, because then and then I just zoom in so that the video fits to the screen. It works.
Yeah. So
I had
the
to get
problem
creative.
is that it
Actually-
won't work. It won't work on Watch Together. I that's how I originally tried
Let's
to
see. Let's try it.
record our stuff on Watch Together, but it doesn't allow it because you essentially like put in the link to the website, right?
Yeah. No.
And when you put in the invite,
Wait, yeah, that's what I tried to do originally, and it gets all buggy. So what I do is I have the video on my browser, because then that way I can play the game, but then I have a mini window that's just the browser window, so that whenever you hit play on the video, the audio and the image will pop up in the corner where I have it set up. I just had to,
Okay.
yeah, if you...
well, however you get it done, I guess works, right?
I think it looks pretty good.
Just make sure you don't. Just make sure you don't show the link.
Yeah. Oh, I need to fix it. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks all right. Let's see. Order, move down one. Yep. Nope. Order. There we go. That looks fantastic to me. Okay. All right. And the audio should come through. All right.
Go ahead and do a if you want to do a test like.
Good
play
idea.
Pause
Good idea.
and go for it.
You're right. Hold on. Let's see.
Just
right, Andrew.
It's getting old. Mad and shit.
Uh,
Just this getting old.
Let's see. Is there a way for me to turn the volume down on my end on the video
For what?
for the watch together? Is that it right there? Oh, there it is. Okay, I'm good to go. Whenever you want to go, I'm good.
I don't know if it turns down the volume for everybody, but
Good point.
Hold on, let me do something real quick because I seem to remember this video being really loud.
Getting
Yeah.
old, mad and
And I need to. So what I'm gonna do,
Yeah, it
I'm
sounds
gonna
good.
have to actually start the stream and then, I'm gonna need a minute so that I can listen to the stream on YouTube and then
That's fine.
make sure volume levels are all good. So
I should be good to go.
give me a sec. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start the stream now. All right.
Yes. Hello. Hello.
All right. Slash TP
It's not.
105,000.
Hold on.
How are we doing?
Okay. Now the stream started.
Hello.
Okay, so now let me. Oh, hold on.
No, me don't.
Just don't talk. I got to play the video and see what the volume's like.
Shit, you know, this little short, furious Irish woman. I thought that was.
There we go.
I teleport in the middle of the fucking ocean.
This is so cool. I have everything on my screen at once. This is awesome. I got the chat. I got
Okay,
our
so
Twitter,
let's do the
our
comment.
banner, the cute little banner that you made looks great on top. And then the Vaush.
Bombs.
Vaush.
What do I want to do?
God.
I don't know what I want to do. Diamond armor, I guess I'll just get XP. Are we ever going to kill the Ender Dragon sometime today? Daniel, you
probably
gotta
not
stop.
I don't know
today.
about that.
Stop making bread, Daniel. Keep them as barrels.
I mean, I'm probably not going to be killing no Ender Dragon tonight. I'm running the damn stream over here.
Or like one day we'll do that. That'll be fun.
I mostly just
I mean,
did that
yeah,
for
one
sort
day,
of
yeah.
space.
One day when I'm not terrible at the game. Anyway, we are live, so
Hello.
I guess we can do our little intro. Why?
Oh my God, I've been live for 30
Hold on,
minutes. Oh my God.
Man, I gotta fix something else. I don't
Into a
understand
fucking mountain.
what's
See how
wrong.
we sound too.
Where am I gonna
What
come
the
out?
hell has happened?
1, 2, 3.
No, don't trash it. Why don't you display the correct thing?
Doo-doo-doo.
All right.
Oh, it's always such a
There we go. There we go.
fun game that I have to play with OBS every time I get on. Every fucking time something's
Okay.
fucked up.
I know. Every time I close
y'all
it.
do your I don't know, just do an intro or something.
Hello,
Hey,
welcome. Welcome to the ETC podcast, episode 11. We're going to be going back over the Vaush debate that he had with an Irish guy, the Irish comedian dude, whatever,
Yeah, Count
Scottish, Count Dankula. We're going to just kind of talk about it because what else do we have to do? We're not important. So we can kind of spend time doing that. Adam is streaming it on his YouTube.
Skeleton.
I'm streaming it on Twitch. Because what better than to divide your fan base amongst two different mediums? That's great.
Yeah,
Good job.
capitalism.
Idiots.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm the idiot. I did it.
That's what I was saying. Fuck you.
Oh, you're in a bed? Fuck. Did I bring my bed? I did bring.
You don't. Well, whatever. Go ahead.
Dun, dun, dun,
What should I build? What can I do on Minecraft while I guess I could just kill
you
things?
You should build a brothel. A Minecraft brothel.
Put like villagers in it that I can fuck, I guess.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't want to do that.
They still have those in, I think, in the Netherlands, or no? Is that that might just be? What's the difference between a brothel and like the red light district? Is there like a difference?
I think the red light district is prostitutes on the outside in the streets, whereas a brothel is an illegal building that you can have. Like a brothel is like the where the kings live in Fallout New Vegas, with the beds all around and they're just sleeping in the beds with the big heart bed. I think that's like it's like a building where you fuck, as opposed to just finding a prostitute on the street like in GTA, which those are my only two references for prostitutes are video games, by the way. That's all I know. It's in GTA and Fallout. That's all I got.
Mine are Las
All
Vegas.
right. Sorry,
and
my
Fallout.
everything's working or running now. For some reason, it wasn't displaying the chat. Not that we're gonna have anyone in the chat.
You
Don't
might.
know that. Let's be optimistic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Well,
I have 8 subscribers on Twitch now. It's pretty cool, right?
Wow.
So they'll work
Start
their
sending
way.
them to our YouTube.
I am.
damn
I
it.
do. I have everything linked, nice and
Okay.
easy for them. Don't
Say he
worry.
does.
Well,
Don't know how
I
it's
mean, you
working.
gotta. You just
You're-
anytime you get a chat, or be like, go to our YouTube.
Yes, and see our discussions
Yep.
of
See them.
things.
Even though they're gonna get the same thing on both, but
Well,
whatever.
kinda.
Who cares?
If they don't want
I don't
the
See
even
our
really
cute
care.
little icons on YouTube.
As long as they
Yes.
engage, that's really all I care about. I don't care about where so much. Like I just want to, you know what I mean?
I do know what you
I
mean.
suppose.
Like if it's obviously you want it to be in real time, you know, with us here. But if it's on Twitch, that's also fine. Or even after the fact, just consuming it. As long as As long as the intellectual revolution reaches their ears, then we have done God's
I
work.
suppose so. So I believe where we left off last time was somewhere around 27 minutes. But I pulled us back to 26. Just so we can kind of regain whatever context we would be missing. Because I don't actually remember the specific thing we left off on. I forgot to go
The hell was
look
that?
before we started, but 'tis what it is.
Okay, cool. I'm ready.
So I've pulled us back about a minute. I think a minute and a half maybe from where we
It's
were.
fucking hilarious.
So if it all starts kind of coming back to you, then we
Like
can make some
boomerang?
comments, but we can also just let it ride for a little
Great.
bit, for a second or two. But yeah, so are we all set and ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.
Yep, I'm ready.
All right.
That was fucking hilarious.
Do you actually
Just the
believe in
same as-
Satan?
No, I don't believe it's Satan. I don't
Okay,
actually believe
just curious.
that shit.
Do you think
That's-
there might be a difference between you riling up a person who you know is going to be mad about it and you being racist to your audience of hundreds of thousands of people while your audience actually likes it and engages in unironic signaling of racism back?
Jeez.
The vast majority of them get that it's ironic.
This is what I mean by ruining like comedy. This isn't a joke. If you want to say it's just shock humor, well, it's not. Well, I'm not just saying it's not funny. It's literally not a joke. I mean, you can make the argument that like there's this funny like meta-ironic discourse going on in your community, and that's fine. But I mean, from an inductive perspective, the far more likely like outcome here is just that you're racist and your audience is racist, and we are nowhere near
right,
the end of
that's-
evidence to that claim.
But when I said
Go
that,
ahead.
you can't deductively think that that is
Okay.
what was in my mind.
Well, I can't deductively
well,
reason
yeah,
anything
that's
about
it.
what anyone believes, but in your
It is not letting me pause it. Why the fuck
God.
is it not letting me pause it?
Does he not understand the whole point of a target market? Like, if you know that your audience knows that you're a comedian and you post jokes, it's a lot different than somebody,
Well,
right? Like,
what is? I mean, who is he to decide what is and isn't a joke? Like, I guess if you're looking up the dictionary definition,
What do you
of a
mean,
joke,
Dan? He's the great Vaush.
I guess. Like, I understand what he's saying. Like, there's no. He's saying essentially there is no punchline. A joke, and correct me if I'm wrong, comedian Andrew. Doesn't a joke need to have some kind
typically,
of
typically, sure, yeah. People always say that.
I don't know if it does.
Generally, but
I mean, maybe like in the
like what is the
dictionary
butt of the
definition,
joke?
maybe.
yeah,
His is just,
punchline.
I guess humor and a joke are kind of like a commutative property of addition here. It's not they're a rectangle is a quadrilateral, but not all quadrilaterals are rectangles. Can a joke can have a punchline, right? But a joke doesn't necessarily need to. Like, it can still be humor without it being a joke, right? Like, I know that we're getting into deep, almost superfluous semantic territory here, but it matters.
I mean, that's what's required, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he wants to start throwing out inductive and deductive and all this crap. Like, the problem is, like, he wants it only to be his way. He's saying,
Right.
well, I can't deductively, figure out anything about you, even though that's what he did when he originally called the guy a racist for making a joke. He deduced
Yeah.
right.
that he was racist because he made the racist joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's kind of going the other way too. He's putting the pieces together to kind of create this whatever he's accusing him of. Like, he's doing kind of both. And that's what I mean. It's like, well, just because it's not funny to you doesn't mean it's not funny. Like, I still think the thing that he did to his grandma, and now I'm a little biased, right, being a Christian.
Sure.
But even to my own parents, we've, my own mom, I've said things, whatever, that are patently offensive, that are, to me funny, that maybe on the outside would seem ridiculous and not funny, and like, wow, why would you joke about that? That seems, especially to your own mother, that'd be very offensive or whatever. And then she'll kind of bust my balls and say things that are kind of hurtful, but a joke. And it's like, it's a, whatever. There is a fine line. If the intent, I think, is genuinely, that's what it comes down to. And I take the stance that I know a lot of people say, "Oh, the worst things ever done were done with the best intentions." I really do think
Yeah.
intentions matter. I really do think intent matters. I do. A lot of people
Well,
don't
it
agree with that.
depends
They're
on
like,
what
"These
it
people
is,
are-"
right? Obviously, people there are referring to something I think different than a joke. Like if
Even
you
whatever it
say
was, if you
a
genuinely
certain
set out
word,
to do a benevolent thing, right? Like if you're like, oh, or like in Jurassic Park, people say, "Oh, the worst things ever done," where he stole the egg, right? He made a really
yeah,
stupid decision, but it wasn't out of malice. That's kind of what I'm referring to here. Is people can do things
yeah,
and go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did this thing the other day. I was out with a friend and she didn't like to have ketchup on the same plate as her fries." So, and I was trying to be nice because we had gotten a second round of fries. I
Hey,
put
my
ketchup, and
charger.
she's like, "I have the plate," and I was like, "Fuck, I'm sorry. That was stupid." That was a really dumb example of doing something with good intentions, but then kind of like messing up her meal a little bit
You're
for one
worse
reason
than
or another.
Hitler. You're worse than him for
That's
that.
it. I'm now a
no, you are
horrible.
Hitler.
Yeah, you're the new
But
one.
that's an example. But it's like I didn't do that to fuck with her. I genuinely was trying
Sure.
to serve her ketchup for her fries. So it's like, well, what is the intent? If the intent is genuinely to be humorous, but yeah, you
Yeah,
can't prove that. You can deduce it
yeah.
though. I think
Yeah.
logically you can say,
Well,
yeah, I
yeah,
can
that's called
tell that
being good
you're
faith.
being an idiot because it's right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
and he's
interpreting
making
someone's
very bad
words
faith
not in a
arguments.
disingenuous manner. Like clearly, the goal here was to just make him out to look like a racist, and it's not even to make him look like that to his own fan base. It's to make him look like that to Vaush's fan base. Vaush wants to make like just so it's just an easy, or what he thought would be an easy own, just to be like, oh,
Right.
look at me fighting the
God,
fight.
like he's some ringleader or some weird cult
Oh, dude,
leader.
he
Like,
would
I'm
be a
gonna make
cult
an
leader in a second. Remember
example out of
Tiger
this
King, the
guy.
fucking
Yeah.
fat guy that runs like the tiger cult that like gets women in there?
Joe
That would be
Exotic.
him. No,
Yeah.
not Joe Exotic, the other guy,
Oh, yeah.
who's still in operation, I believe.
That's insane.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not saying that it's right for them to own exotic cats. I'm saying I get it. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying I fucking get it. Apparently, servals are nightmares to own. I found recently. They kind of killed a little piece of me inside.
Servals.
Anyway, I really want a serval, but apparently, according to the pet shelter I was at, they are not good pets. So, all right. Anyway,
All right.
Yeah, not everything's meant to be that. But anyway, yeah,
No.
let's keep going.
We would have to look at a person's actions, and we would have to infer from the things that they do what they actually
Okay,
believe.
then. So, are we going to look at tweets that I've done, or are we going to look at actual real world actions, stuff that I've done?
Well, a tweet is an action. You tweet. You
Okay, I know, but that's some pixels on a screen. What about some real world shit?
wait.
What about
Wait.
real world?
Wait. Racism isn't racism if it's done online.
Uh,
that last part was very much a straw man. That was a textbook straw man.
Well, I mean,
This
there's
is again. I love the term terminally online. I think it's my favorite thing to say in the
Yeah.
English language. Those are my two favorite because this is just a classic case of somebody equating what happens online to being the exact
Real.
same as doing it in the real world offline
and humor.
in a normal
That
space.
it's like twice removed
Right.
from real intent. If you tell a joke in real life,
Right.
if I make a Nazi joke, it doesn't mean I'm a Hitler sympathizer. It just you're actually most humor. If you acknowledge that you're telling a joke, 99 times out of 100, you're acknowledging the absurdity of the thing. You're acknowledging how awful it is, which is what makes you able to tell the joke. The whole point of the joke is that's like, you know, I hate this term, but dark humor seeks to point to poke fun at something that would otherwise be horrible and use it either in a coping way or in a more digestible way. So if he's saying, well, I'm a comedian, if he's a stand-up, then this whole thing is dumb. But if you're just a self-proclaimed comedian or whatever, a joke teller, and you tell a bad joke or tell a joke that other people perceive as bad, you're like, what is it, Vaush?
Even
to
that.
be
I see
fair,
that
I
as the
don't
same
I don't
thing.
think
You don't
I
need to
want
have
to
the
draw a
title.
line between
I
Yeah,
don't
I
think I
wouldn't
want to
either.
start calling who is and isn't a real comedian just because they did stand up or not.
No. Sure,
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
if you're if this is your profession, then you know you understand the point of jokes. Like you understand the nature of them,
Oh,
as
yeah.
opposed to just saying,
Okay,
"Oh,
you're more well-versed.
some guy in your class is like, oh, I'm going to tell a joke about racism," but he's an actual racist. I think it's far less
Okay,
likely.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
okay,
guess
yeah.
there's more
Yeah.
credibility to somebody who, has the experience and the professional aspect
No,
behind it.
sure, I understand that. It's just
Maybe.
I didn't want to start getting into a buzzword like real.
Sure. No, that's right.
Yeah, I think that makes
Credible. I don't know the word. Somebody who takes jokes
Incredible.
as seriously as they should be without it, being
Rather, let's just say
I don't know.
understands comedy,
the nature of
maybe,
it. That's
like
good.
the point of it.
Yeah, the science almost
The
behind
whole
it,
point,
of
if
what
you
makes them-
like most jokes that we laugh at, like if you make a whatever 9/11 or a Holocaust, so that's some of the worst things. And I think most, if you laugh at it, the idea is you're saying, "Wow, that's it's so much of a horrible thing." That's what makes the
it's like
joke funny.
incredulous almost.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shock humor, essentially.
Yeah, which here's the thing, I'm not always a fan of. Like, I don't think something is funny just because it's
I'm
an
not
awful
either.
thing. But usually, and Ricky Gervais says this well, he says,
Like, what's that British comedian, Jimmy Carr?
he's hilarious too. He's very, though he was at the
I love Ricky
Pete
Gervais.
Davidson roast, and he said, and he got up and he said, I don't like that people are getting up here and making jokes about Pete Davidson's father. He died in 9/11. This is not the roast of Pete Davidson's father. That was in 2001, and it was like everyone went, "Oh," which is fucking hilarious. But David Carr's not going to go, "Yes, I support 9/11." Like, I'm telling this joke because
Right.
I support. But there are people that really feel that way. There was a woman that came up to me. I did a 9/11 joke, and she came up to me and went, "Really?" And it wasn't even the worst joke of the night. People made homophobic jokes and they made other racial, like, it really was, it got the biggest laugh, so that made her feel attacked. But whenever you tell a joke, you're not attacking people personally. If you make even a whatever, and people feel that way because they feel like certain traumatic things are theirs to own. And whenever they hear a joke, you're not going, haha, fuck the fall. Well, actually, I guess I did say that. I don't know who Falling Man was, but I'm not saying I hate him and I'm glad he fucking fell. I'm using it as a vessel. I'm using the event as a vessel. And so is probably, I keep forgetting his name. I'm so sorry. The Irish dude or the whatever Scottish dude.
Count Dankula.
He's using racism, which he's acknowledging by joking as a bad thing or relatively a taboo thing, and using it as a vessel to tell some sort of. But he's not saying I hate anyone who's of a different race than me. That's such a hyper reductionist way to view comedy, which is what this guy's doing, which is what everyone who's too emotional. I forgot who said the quote, but it's people who feel too much view life as a drama. People who view life as a comedy. I butchered that. And I think people that are hyper emotional about things. Now, I don't think that's a bad thing because I think a lot of people that can't joke about the things that they feel that they feel strongly about. I think it's because they take those things so seriously that they don't want to joke about them. Like if you worked for whatever the water project in Africa and you were bringing water and someone made some joke about, oh, kids, I can understand why you would feel strongly about somebody saying that. Now, I would hope in a perfect world you can go, haha, also let's bring water to kids, like whatever, because words don't really affect anything if you don't let them. It's not like punching someone in the face. But if you, and I know that's a slippery slope because you could say, well, legislature is just words, but that's different. I'm talking intrapersonal dialogue. If you, like, everyone has a thing that they don't.
I would maybe push back a little bit just because words, I mean, it all depends on really, I guess, how you take them. Because you could even say like if punching someone my size would be different than punching like a child, right? Like I would obviously, or an adult or whatever, punching Mike Tyson would be much less effective to him than punching me. So I don't know. There's certain words. It maybe depends on who it's from. And I'm a little bit playing devil's advocate, but I do kind of believe this now recently that if a parent says something to you, like they're disappointed in you, they call you a failure or something like that, which I'm bringing up
True.
for no particular reason.
That's true.
That that does have a lasting, borderline traumatic impact, depending on if you're a kid, and so but again, I would circle back around to this and say, what is the intent of that?
Sure.
Like, and that's where maybe forgiveness comes in. Are they doing it because they have unresolved things themselves and they're taking it out on whatever? Are they doing it because they want the best for you? They're just going about it in the wrong way. There's so much nuance to this that he's not taking into
that's what it is. Yep. And he wants to play White Knight he is posturing as this being.
Like, words do matter, like you said,
sure.
Even removing the legislation side, that's how we communicate. But, it comes down to intent. Like, I mean, if you punch somebody accidentally, I don't know. I mean, that's not technically battery, I don't think. I think that's just, it was a mishap. Like if you, or a better example would be manslaughter versus murder. If you're just fucking around while you're driving, you didn't mean to kill somebody, you will literally be prosecuted differently because your intent was you were not doing anything illegal at the time of killing them, or you did not intend to kill them. Right.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between murder and manslaughter. So it's like, well, what is the intent even behind the words? Someone says something, I've said things to people that they either took wrong or I worded poorly, and I went, oh, my intent was not to hurt you. I was making a joke. Wow, what a concept. Or I was whatever, I was ignorant about something. Let me apologize. My intent wasn't. I didn't understand something, whatever it was. The words still hurt them, but then that's where like forgiveness comes into play and other things like that. Again, it's like, well, what was your intent? And this whole thing would be good if he was genuinely trying to get to the bottom of what he was doing, and he was asking questions like, why do you do this? I would like to know, do you genuinely find this humorous, or are there ulterior motives at play?
They might get to it because they've already talked about a lot, and we're at the 27-minute mark out of it looks like 3 hours if I'm just kind of eyeballing the little scroller.
2.5 hours.
So I hope they do. That'd be great.
2.5.
I hope he goes, why do you I don't know what even that question would be. Why do you think comedy is different than, like, that would be a great question, and let the other guy go, well, it is different because it's, like you said, it's the intent, it's the environment, it's the perception of the thing at the time. Like if you made a Lusitania just sank joke in 1914, people would go, I think Louis said, Louis C.K., the comedian, for anyone listening, said, if it takes some time for your thing to become less offensive, then it's bullshit to get mad about. Because nothing should ever be a function of time. Nothing should ever matter less in the future. We know it does, but like if you, like, to somebody who really cares, a child's death probably hurts as much the week after as it does years later. But like 9/11,
to some extent.
If you made jokes about 9/11 right after 9/11, you would have been doxxed horrifically. But now, a good example is the Titanic.
Well, it depends on where. I wouldn't say it at fucking Ground Zero where they have the memorial.
Sure,
right?
Sure,
like you wouldn't go there where the people's names are written there.
Locations
or
important.
even in New York City, that's probably I don't know, that's a risk to do a 9/11 joke in New York City. I don't know if I have the balls to do that.
People probably do that.
That's just
I have a feeling.
I'm sure they
Louis didn't Louis in his show where he like
Louis can get away with murder.
Well, but so now you're saying that it's the dialoguer who's able to. Well, it is not what you say; it's how you say it. So,
as it's received by the people, I'm not saying it should have a difference per se, but
sure,
I'm just more making an objective statement that Dave Chappelle, the legend, right? George Carlin got away with saying shit that was really fucked up.
Well, and people probably hated him for it. So it's like, what?
Maybe
a lot of people did, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Where does it start to matter? Like in this case, I think. What is it, Vaush? I think assuming he's not being disingenuous, which I think or at least
his name is Vaush.
Vaush, like
Rich
Vaush.
Me up too. I don't know why.
I don't understand. I've only ever said it like Vaush, and you guys have apparently only ever heard it from me.
I need to read it.
Saying Vaush and Vaush.
Sounds like a German composer. All right, whatever.
It's funny. Yeah. His name, like people purposely mispronounce his name as Vaush to piss him off. So
I'm not trying to do that.
I'm genuinely not trying to.
Not that I care about what he thinks of me, but
also,
I'm not.
Teleport to me. You want to steal his village?
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, you can keep
going.
going.
I don't really give a shit.
the
if he,
environment,
you
this
know,
is
hates
last
it
thing,
or
the
not.
environment is a big one because
Yeah.
people see social media very differently. Clearly, Dankula sees social media as just a free for all, and
Sure.
I'm kind of in the
Which
same
it
way,
is,
where you just say
absolutely.
whatever you want. And then clearly, Vaush, I almost said it wrong again. Fuck. Vaush clearly
Vaush.
takes discourse on social media very seriously. So that is a huge point of contention and disconnect for both of them. Someone who just sees Twitter as whatever, it's not real, versus someone who's like, no, this matters. This environment is a breeding ground for hate.
Yeah, they cut out.
Outside when you touch grass in person. There's a big difference
Yeah.
in those two environments, or at least a discussion should be had. I could agree that communication is communication is communication. Okay, kind of like a message board, no different than going to town hall. It's just digital. All right, I'll play devil's advocate a little bit, but I hope that they unpack that a little bit more, like the where. But yeah, that's all. That was important.
I can't remember if they do or not. Because I mean, a lot of the time, as we've seen, this conversation is very much, it gets driven a lot by it like Vosh likes, if I could use it some sort of metaphor, it feels like Vosh wants to steer the conversation quite a bit, but then Count Dankula, but Vosh kind of wants to start like, imagine you're driving a car and he's in your passenger seat and he's just like subtly yanking on your fucking steering wheel a little bit and you're like, dude, fuck off. And then he yanks it really fucking hard and then you have to yank it back onto the road.
Yeah.
That's like where Count Dank
Overcorrect or whatever. Yeah.
Austin's trying to purposely derail shit. Like just making just non sequiturs, fucking straw men, all the classics.
Yeah.
And
Classic fallacy.
Yeah, they really are classics.
Make my professors roll in their graves. Well, they're not dead.
Good. I wish they were. Oh, never mind.
I know. Some of them will really
you don't even know them.
No, I don't. But if they're teaching at a high level of sort of liberal university,
a lot of my professors were really brilliant, amazing people. They were either that or they were the most insufferable people. It's a complete binary. They were either legends, communication masters, or they were just freaking insufferable. There was no in between.
All right.
No, some of them I look up to forever. But yeah.
Yeah, what if they murdered people? Sorry, go ahead.
Then maybe it would change. What else? You just pulled a Vaush or whatever.
I did.
I did it on purpose.
Would that be a straw man, what I just did?
All right, it's fine if you do it on purpose, but it was like, and again, I don't care if you mispronounce it. It's just weird. I wanted to point it out.
No, I just don't know. No, that's not. I don't think that's interesting to mispronounce his name intentionally.
Look at all this water.
I need to read it and then I'll get it. I'm good once I read the word and then I'm like,
I mean, you should be able to see it on the watch together.
Let's see.
Oh wait, no, you can't.
It's like a little bit.
Kidding.
It's all right. Fuck him. He doesn't know me.
It's spelled Vaush.
Oh, that doesn't help at all. Fucking German Nazi. He's probably a Nazi.
I don't know. Well, type it out and then read it. There you go.
Oh, jeez. Okay, go ahead.
I don't think that's his actual name. It's just his YouTube name. I don't know where it comes from though.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I look at all this melon.
But anyway,
go ahead.
Back to the video.
Oh my gosh.
When did I say that?
Well, you just implied a distinction between pixels on a screen and real world shit. I mean, you affect literally hundreds of thousands of people online. You should know that more than anyone because you're a public figure online. Right?
Okay then. Okay, in regards to that, I was meaning like stuff actual in the real world, like actual tangible, like stuff, physical things, physical actions.
I don't think that's in any way related. Physical? Do you mean like a video of you like beating up a black guy while saying I hate black people? I don't think that's necessary to inductively reason out your beliefs. If I didn't know a person like in real life at all, I just knew their Twitter persona. I think they could still do things on that Twitter account to make me think they're a racist.
Well,
I mean. Yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. It's just let's see where this goes. Because I don't remember specifically where this one goes.
See the sheer amount of people on the left that I've actually met in real life, and I've completely changed their mind about the way about what they think of me, about the way I feel like that. In fact, there was one boy. It was actually a group of trans people when I was at Comic-Con. And basically, they says that they didn't like my beliefs and stuff like that, but we actually bonded over our hatred of Graham Linehan. So that was actually very nice. One of them did come up to me afterwards and shake my hand.
Did it just pause? What happened?
I don't know who that is.
I didn't pause it. Actually, no, it's okay. I think I just had a little revelation. I think humanity is we're a little bit too immature for social media, because whenever you're reading
Yeah,
cross.
Who's talking?
Hello?
Andrew?
Hello,
No,
I'm here.
Andrew, can you hear us?
Oh no, what happened?
You are lagging hard, my man.
Hello,
Andrew,
Wow, hold on.
See,
Hello?
you left the
can you
line.
hear us, Andrew?
I can hear you.
Anyway.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Well, you can now.
Well, no, I could hear you before too.
Oh, well, why were you? You were like
bad
talking as if you couldn't hear us talking. You were like, "Oh, the video's paused. What's happening?" And we were talking, and it was like,
Oh,
well,
geez.
pause because we're
I
talking.
don't know what happened. I did hear you though.
Wow,
I thought,
yeah,
and then you
I
guys
think-
stopped. All right, whatever. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I think your voice was coming through to us, but it was behind. So it was like,
maybe that's fine.
yeah.
You know, I'm
Weird.
terrible
All
at
right,
this.
anyway.
We're too immature
That's
for social
okay.
media. We're too. We take everything at face value. We will read something that one person says, and I don't think maybe it's not immaturity. It's just like the way things are. Like you could see somebody do something that's out of character in real life, and go, "That person is that way. That's who they are." When in reality, they're not that kind of person. Like whenever the whole idea of like if somebody cuts you off in traffic, and you go, "Oh, they fucking suck. They need to be better." But if you cut somebody off in traffic, you go, "Well, I'm late, and they need to give me the benefit of the doubt." Like we do that for social media. We go this person, and especially if you don't know somebody's making a joke, right? Which people are really good at being bad at not identifying a joke. And I don't blame the comedian. Again, this is why like I brought that up before. I think he knows how to tell a joke is the point. He knows how to tell a joke. He makes money, and that I think proves that he, relatively. And now comedy is subjective, so it's like, how do you even gauge, what is a good joke? But that's the thing, is some people aren't going to understand it's a joke. And if they see that one interaction online, just like being cut off in traffic, so if they meet you at Comic-Con and they think you're a transphobe and you start to talk to them like a human being, they're going to realize that one cross-section, like in this case, he's not an asshole. Social media is not a good vessel for us to get to know people. It's just not.
No, it's not. Which is a shame, because there's so much good that could be done. Like we really could share so much important knowledge and transfer ideas and have this marketplace of intellectual discourse, and it just fucking is the opposite, man. It's just the complete and utter opposite, and it kills me. It really does. It bothers me. I've tried to have so many good conversations with people, and they just fall completely flat for one reason or another, and I'm like, what is it? Like, is it me? I would like to think it's not.
No, no.
Up to me.
Whoops. Whoa.
I mean, maybe sometime, but I don't know. I try so hard. I try to find common ground too. Go, I think you're right on this and this, but what about this?
It just doesn't convey.
No ad hominems.
Because they're spending their time doing other stuff. Like they'll write to you all angry, and then they'll go do other stuff, and then they won't. I don't know. It's not like you got to have a physical, verbal discourse with somebody to understand the nuance of their words, their inflection, their even like expressions. Like if somebody says something, that's the problem with it. It is not what you say, it's how you say it, and there is no how you say to what you're saying on Twitter or on Instagram. You just read it in whatever voice you want to read it in. And if you want to hate somebody, you're going to put it in a fucking Hitler voice. If you want to like them, they're going to sound. So that's why videos are better. I think but then it's not usually a discourse. This is better because at least you can hear them and talk. But if it's just a Twitter thread, it's like all of that humanity is lost in the human parts
Even
of the
over Zoom, or like I hate doing meetings over Zoom or whatever. I love doing them in person. It just feels more personal. It really does. It feels more like I'm actually connecting with this human rather than over a screen. I mean, I do think that matters to a certain degree. The way that you interact online, even if it's face to face, quote unquote, is going to be different than face to face in real life.
Mm-hmm.
It just is. It's just the way that I hate Zoom meetings. I'm like, I'm staring at a screen. It's all awkward. This block of video that this person's sitting in. And it's like 10 people all staring at each other. It's fucking
Yeah.
awkward. It's just an awkward. It's not natural as opposed to sitting in a room together. You have that kind of, I hate the word energy, just because it gets used by people who think crystals are real, sources of whatever influence.
Okay, I was about to say.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? I think that crystals.
No,
are
I know. It's
obviously
just
real.
funny. Just the sentence "who think crystals are real."
Yeah, crystals
I
are
was
all
like, well,
they're all government drones. But say my energy. Well, no, but like there is I mean, energy is a real scientific thing. Like there is a certain kind of, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a human energy, communication energy that is missing whenever you take people out of a room and tell them to communicate with each other. And then even further, so like you're saying, when there's no sound, there's nothing but words on a sheet and in a profile picture.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, we're talking about a hot button issue. Yeah, I mean, of course it's going to be all fucked up.
Of course.
And that, I don't know. It doesn't need to be. It really doesn't need to be.
I don't know if it could be any other way. Like you can't convey those things through words. That's why like good writers.
Because we do it.
Well, but not everyone takes the time to curate. Well, and I don't even know that I could have like a discussion.
It's their fault.
It depends on who's on the other side of the thing. Like it depends on who you're trying to convince.
Well, right.
That helps.
Well, right.
And people are
But
bad writers.
you and I could talk all day over text. We've had some of the best conversations we've ever had.
Well, and we also know each other in person.
True.
Which I think, like, if I read some of the things not knowing you, I'd be like, this guy's a fucking asshole. But I know the way that you say things, and and we have the chemistry. We're also brothers, so that is almost not comparable. But like, I know immediately when you're going somewhere with a bit or whatever, if it's a joke, or when I can almost hear you say it. That's the whole point. Is whenever you type something, I can almost. I mean, 24 years. I mean, I've known. I was born into your house pretty much. Right. You're already there. Like that's a long time. If we could do that with everyone, we'd be perfect. We'd be a tribe. That's why tribes and stuff, like it is important. It's weird whenever I see homeless people. And I think like if we really cared about our neighbor, assuming we could trust people enough, which that's the hard part, you'd give them something, like but we don't, even though we claim to be under the same roof in America or whatever, in the Western world, we don't associate with each other. So we can't get to know each other enough to have those kind of conversations in the first place. It's hard.
That's at its core. I really think that's at the core of a lot of the issues we have is we are so disconnected. What's the Ghost Inside lyric? We're so disconnected and so misdirected. I like that though. I think that that's a really good song that encapsulates. What song is that? Is that
I don't know what song that is.
Dark Horse? But that is it. Like once you get to know people, it's not Dark Horse, but we are so individualized. I know we've talked about this ad nauseum now at this point, but this is the ramification of it.
Yeah.
This is the ramification of all the echo chambers, all the individualism is now we can't relate to people. And it's affecting, what was that Buckley video we watched yesterday, Adam? It's affecting how relationships,
like 20% of
how
like
often
men and women nowadays aren't having sex or something.
I mean, we're isolating ourselves in such a way that people aren't even engaging in relationships or even
women are just like
physical intimacy. Now
something like that or 20% less. I think it was like 20% of people polled.
Yeah, I think it was like 19%.
Was it 20% of people, or was it saying 20% less people?
Because that obviously would change that number.
But either way, like that decline is a direct result. I mean, if people aren't even shagging anymore, which is really the most basic form of human interaction.
Wow.
You think they're gonna be able to have
I don't know if that's the most basic form.
You mean like the most primal form?
Whatever. Grog horny. Oh, Grog.
Yeah.
Also horny.
Grog steal woman's body for her own benefit. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's. Yeah. All right. Go ahead. We can. I don't know. We can keep going.
Maybe the
please
caveman days. Yeah. Let's move from that. But go ahead.
What? Continue the video?
Yeah, I'll hit
Yeah,
play.
that's
Afterwards, and
Oh,
shook
okay.
my hand and said, "I hope you turn away from white supremacy." And I was just like,
Hey, look at that. We're a comrade to the end. Look at that. Even, hey, I can break bread with people I disagree with, you know. I'm actually fairly amicable as far as online lefties go, but I gotta hold people to account for their beliefs.
I do that all the time. Well, that's the thing is there's one of the things that gets used on me all the time is you've only spoken at right wing conservative free speech events. Why is that? And I'm just like, because the left don't have any.
Well, that's because the left doesn't need free speech events because the left isn't getting like banned off platforms for being Nazis. Usually, the reason why the ultra free speech.
No, hold on. Don't turn around and say that.
No,
Oh, right.
that's a terrible counter.
That is a terrible.
No, one thing I will say
People are
about
being
right media, is that they do like, not that I'm a fan of Fox or whatever the Blaze, but they will have liberal people on to debate, and CNN and then MSNBC, they do not do that. So, I think that's what he was saying was that, what is it, Vaush? Vaush totally he totally took that and spun that.
Amazing.
And like, it's dumb because a simpler minded person would hear that and take it that way and go, oh, that's because, and they would have like he's just trying to score points on him. Like, that sounds like a good argument if you're not listening very well, but that's not what he was saying at all. It's not. He made a good point. The other guy, the Irish guy. I don't know why I can't remember their fucking names. I just can't.
Well, you can see his name whenever you pause the
I was
video.
gonna
You can
say,
see
it
that
is
and
right
watch together.
With
It's sitting right up there at the top because it's the title in the video.
it says, oh yeah,
Count
Dankula.
Dankula.
Yeah, well, it's my screen is zoomed and all weird. It says with dot. But
Oh,
well,
either way.
what did he
But,
say? He said,
What?
wow. Andrew teleport to me.
free speech events. He said he strawmanned him. That was just such a dumb way to turn that, to go,
Oh, well, yeah, he was saying, why do you only do fucking free or speeches at like Republican free speech events? And he says because the left don't have any. And then
yeah,
he was like, well, the right are the ones being banned off the platforms or whatever.
yeah. Which that is true. I mean, because I think
I mean,
media
yeah,
does.
it is true, but he obviously said that they're being banned because they're Nazis, which is not true.
No,
That's
At least not all
true.
the time.
not all the time.
So
Sometimes they are.
maybe, but
They definitely
Well, sure, but sometimes anyone is.
Sure.
Right? I mean, it's not just.
I mean, it's for a
whatever.
million reasons. There's so many reasons why people get banned off of shit. I'm sure there are left-leaning people that get banned from things.
for sure.
Either 'cause
Well,
they
yeah.
said
I
a
mean, even
hateful
Vaush himself
remark.
has gotten at least a
Right.
temporary ban before, when he said that thing about Glass Israel, if you remember
God.
that.
Well, he even said that was a joke, didn't he? Oh no, he said he kind of believed that a little
Well-
bit. I don't remember.
Well, yeah, he does. No, he believes it. Yeah, 100%.
Like, even that, like,
He admitted that Twitch was right to ban him for saying that.
do you guys believe? Are you in the camp that anything like should go? Like, that social media should be completely anything? Like, even if it's awful,
Wait,
even if Hitler came
social
back,
media?
yeah, I
What'd you
specified.
say? Sorry. Are you talking about comedy? Like what we can make jokes about?
No, like any dialogue at all. If Hitler came back tomorrow and was
Oh.
advocating,
Well, see, here's the thing.
would they ban him? They
well-
would, but
I mean, rightfully, so people naturally would be like, nah, get out of here. And he, I think, would be naturally driven off the platform
Sure.
anyway.
right.
Or enough people would complain and then try and get him banned. I don't know. That's a weird one. Like, because then, like, he's a very clear example of where we could say, oh, look, hate speech, because we know who that guy is.
Well,
Like,
but people
he's
would
too
support him.
easy.
It wouldn't be a
Sure,
unanimous
there would-
rejection.
yeah. No, I know. I mean, there's people out there. There's people still on social media that are actual Nazis, all that good stuff,
yeah.
racist. All the buzzwords. And fucking, I get that, but like that's a scenario like where pretty much there's no question. I don't think obviously, unless you're an actual Nazi, no one's gonna bitch about Hitler getting banned off a platform
Yeah.
if he was alive today.
The difficult part is who becomes the arbiter of speech.
Well, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Speech
Like,
is either free in its totality or it's not at all
yeah.
because of the implication that, well, if one thing can be banned, another thing can be banned. So that really, I think, is the argument that really, what'd you say, Andrew? You said whenever people argue something, they're generally arguing multiple things kind of at the same time.
Yeah, it's
that was a
nuanced.
bad paraphrase. But they're usually they're arguing two different things at the same time. I
Yeah.
really think that's where the big
Yeah.
the argument is, and people don't realize it, is, well, somebody believes that speech is completely free, that no government can sanction or whatever
Yeah.
I guess sanction would be the right word, can sanction or not. If it's a call to action that is directly harming another person, right? Then it becomes assault. We actually have
Sure.
legality or legislature in place that says, hey, I'm going to come kill you and your family tonight, and this is how I'm going to do it. Okay, if there's probable cause, you will get arrested. You will get arrested. That is actually a legitimate crime. So if that's really what it comes down to, and that's a debate as old as time, right? Or as old as really our Constitution, probably further back. I'm sure they weren't the first ones to think about that.
Well, and what does free, like, is free, like, whenever people say free, well, I have the freedom to do this. You don't have the freedom to the consequences that come from it socially. But I don't know if we agree on, like, like the idea of getting fired because of something you said. I'm torn on that one, because, like, if you work for a company, you should represent that company's interest somewhat. But at what point?
Yeah, I mean, it depends. Obviously, if you say something overtly, like everyone always complains, fired for sexist comments or fired for racist comments or something, and it's like, well, what were those comments? I'd kind of like to know. But obviously, if you're running around calling everyone the N-word, well, I mean, yeah, you should probably not.
Yeah, and that's maybe more of a
probably get fired.
Question. Right now, speech is much more
it's
policed. I think
it's just these things aren't usually that black and white. Like, every once in a while, you'll get one of these cases where you're like, well, yeah, why would you ever say the thing you said? That's just so overtly stupid and clearly you're dumb.
Well, but they have the freedom to be stupid. Like, at what
place?
Well, yeah, but you don't. I mean, sure, you have the freedom to do anything. You have the freedom to say the N-word, but guess what? It's not, you don't, you're not protected from being punched in the face if you do, or fired.
So then the freedom is legal. Like, it's sort of governmental. We can't put you in a camp because you said taco.
Yeah, obviously, if you run around in a neighborhood, like, let's say, like a mostly black neighborhood, and start yelling at, whatever consequences come from that, that's on you, buddy.
Like Peter Griffin, when he went to the alley when the world was ending, he said, they respected me for saying it. He came back with the King of the Black People scepter thing. That was
that problematic? Like, where do you draw the line? I'm glad you mentioned that, because I almost said that one. That joke, Seth MacFarlane gets away with fucking murder.
He does, and he's very liberal.
And he is very liberal. He is, and he's more, I think, the old school leftist.
Yeah.
He even makes fun of a lot of the newer leftists.
He makes fun of Brian. Like, Brian, he shits on that character, and he's like,
he does. Yep. And it's him. It's his voice.
Is him.
That's his natural.
He's so talented.
Funny. And he's like the intellectual, and Brian's really book smart. But yeah, he's the butt of most of the jokes from Stewie. So
this is a slight tangent. I hate what they did to Brian in later seasons.
I haven't seen the new ones.
Oh, I mean, he became the stupid liberal instead of the voice of reason. There's a term for it.
For whenever a character trait becomes the whole character. Like Patrick became so much
one-dimensional
that it was
I think they call it Flanderization. Flanderization.
I think
it's referring to Flanders from The Simpsons. How apparently nowadays Flanders from The Simpsons is it's like they boiled him down into just like one or two things, whereas before he was a lot more nuanced and had opinions. But nowadays. So people. Like, at least that's the term I've heard for it on the internet.
Sandy became just the scientist. That's all she was.
Or just the southern Texas thing. Yeah, Texas.
Even that was she's now just Sandy the scientist. And it's like, okay, it does turn him into like a one-dimensional character. But yeah, they did that to Brian. It is a little insufferable.
I wanted to mention
Yeah, I mean,
something.
they did
Oh,
it
go
to
ahead.
all the characters eventually.
Well, yeah, because writers
Yeah,
are getting
Ragnar
lazy.
became
They're getting
awful,
they take what works and they milk that like every other corporate body. They take the one thing that they know people will eat up. They don't care about the artistic nuance of a character or, you know, writing a good script or writing a good storyboard. Sorry, maybe that's a tangent. I wanted to. He mentioned he said he would break bread with anyone that people that he disagreed with. I hate whenever people use that term because I feel like that's like I know that's a
break
religious
bread?
phrase. Yeah, like it
What,
seems
there's
like
a Family Guy for that too. He's like, "What are you, Saint Augustine or what does he say?"
right.
Because
It's-
Brian says, "I can, for one, love to break." Just what are you, Saint Michael of Augustus or something? Fucking hilarious.
It is. It's like a
And
religious.
It's like, yeah, who says that?
Yeah, right. Like say I can hang out and I get what but there are people that you disagree with that you will not hang out with if you disagree with them enough. Like I wouldn't quote unquote break bread with a Nazi. I just wouldn't hang out with them. I wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do that with a murderer or a pedophile or anyone who's done things that are reprehensible to my moral compass. So there has to be a point where you do draw a line, which he obviously does. You know, he draws many lines, it seems like, even with people that are joking or whatever. But I hate that backpedal. Like, look, I don't hate you just because I disagree with you. But where do you disagree? Where do you agree with me? Where can we both exist without murdering each other?
Why? That's so important.
Like
really
if I had a argument or discussion or whatever on CNN, if I ever got there or whatever, I would say, where do we agree as Americans? If I was arguing with someone about whatever, healthcare or whatever, immigration, I go, where do we agree?
Take you out back and shoot you before you got the chance to do that. They go, nope, doesn't fit the narrative.
Right.
Executed.
Well, sure. Yeah. It's
sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Yep.
even though I'm left-handed.
If you remember the debate back, it was the Hillary Trump debate, and this guy he ended up
Ken
being in hot
Bone.
water for something.
Ken
social
Bone.
Media
Yep. I think that was his name.
A big cross, a big wooden cross, waiting to put someone up on it. But yeah, that guy was like, "Can you say one thing about your opponent that you like?"
Yes.
And
yeah, I think that was Ken Bone. I think that was the guy with the mustache with the funny kind of looking. He looked like Peter. That might have been him.
And then he ended up doing something weird that people didn't like, or he said something. But I love that. And everybody cheered. And they were like, wow. And that's what people want. And the division just gets shoved down our throats. Even social media loves it because it's more engagement.
It's
right?
and it's drama.
On there.
People love drama so much. They love it.
Or what did I say?
Well, you said social media, which is the algorithm favors the engagement. You're right. But I think people at the bottom line, we could talk about social media and corporations, but really the only things that there isn't a Mr. What is it? The elusive man. There's not one. It's all of us. If you buy from Walmart, you are investing in Walmart. You're directly.
Yeah.
If you I struggle because what was the thing recently that I was like, we shouldn't watch this, but we have to watch it. I think it was like not a debate, but it was like a something corporate or political, and it's like, let's just stop. Just don't. Oh, it was sorry, hold on, let me think for a second. It was Nikocado Avocado. The whole thing going on with him about and it's like
shit.
He needs the only reason that he can be fat. I mean, really, if you break it down economically, is because people watch his videos.
Well, no, have you seen him recently?
No, he came out and said it was all.
He's not.
No, he came out and said that was fake, and he pre-recorded the videos. He pre-recorded those videos and is supposedly still fat. That was the whole new drama that came up. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he recorded.
that.
He showed up the new mukbang of him eating the Vietnamese, and he went, "This is what it's supposed to be like." And then people were hypothesizing that maybe he did it, and then he came out and said, "I tricked the whole internet. You all bought it. I pre-recorded the video," and And now I don't know what to believe, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether or not he is or isn't. That's the whole point. Is even now we're discussing it, and we shouldn't be. He shouldn't be somebody that we, for lack of a better term, we value him as a society, from an entertainment or from even if he's a court jester in the traditional form, not because court jesters were treated very well, but even if we poke fun and go, ha ha, fat, whatever, you viewing his video gives him money. Even if you don't pay him, you're giving his advertisers a reason to advertise. And we do
Yeah.
that with everything. We do that with Trump and Kamala. We do that with every single thing. But we're obsessed with it. That's why we love whatever Housewives of whatever that show is, or the Keeping Up with the Kardashians. We obsess over. Viktor Frankl said, "He who does not have meaning will distract himself with pleasure." And our society has no meaning, none.
Yeah.
Individually.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're so about individualism that whenever you have a bunch of individualisms with no real social ability, thanks to social media and COVID and a bunch of other things, technology, and then you say the individual is what matters, and then you don't have any, and then everyone is right because they're an individual, then you have people worshiping, it's like the domino effect where it's somebody shooting. Have you seen the domino thing where it's like a bigger domino? It's like a Serbian nationalist shooting Franz Ferdinand, and the far domino is anime and hentai, like because Imperial Japan got it. It's the same thing. It's that. It's a big butterfly effect of an unhealthy society. We've just never seen it like this before. It's important because, I think the more things change, yada yada, the more things. I think that's true, but no one's ever had social media before. Even the town message board was not anything close to what Twitter is at all. At all.
Even the telephone. Like, telephone is probably the closest thing we have to social media. Right? We said, I can call anybody in the world from anywhere.
Individually and privately.
And even individually. And even then, that is such a far cry.
It is.
That was a good little, it was kind of sort of a tangent, but that I think really got to the root. Like, I'm glad that's recorded because I actually want to go back and listen to that last 5 minutes, because I think that really boils it down to what this all is, right? The whole problem behind the problem is that. I think I literally could not say it better than myself. So
good, we can quit. We're done. That's it. Episode 11.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
I'm just kidding. It felt good. All right, I'm good to keep going unless anyone. Yeah.
Say that that's the only reason that the right wing.
It's one of the bigger reasons, I'd say. It's a large, significant, perhaps.
It's one of. It's not all. There are people out there that are literally getting fucked over by speech laws who barely even fucking did it.
Well, I'm not talking about speech laws. I'm talking about online stuff. I'm an anarchist. I very rarely will I support the state invoking state power against a person for things they believe. That'd be extreme shit for me to believe in something like that.
I don't.
But when it comes to online platforms,
I feel like he says he's an anarchist. I don't know if he still believes that.
I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, and
say that he is.
Yeah, I think that actually was a genuine statement. I don't think he likes authority in general. I think he has a problem with authority.
I don't know about that. It's hard to say because he is also a socialist. So I don't know how you can have those.
Well, they don't like authority in socialism, right? It's that sees the means of production.
Yeah, well, yeah. The irony being that the fucking government ends up taking a bunch of your shit.
Yeah. Well,
so I don't that's some cognitive dissonance they got to figure out with that one, but because he does. I think he doesn't want to be bossed around. He doesn't want authority to come after him. He wants to be the authority.
Yeah, that's true.
What I think.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because he is super fucking wrapped up in himself. I mean, his hair. He is. I mean, look at him. Come on, he's a cult leader in the making, man.
He's a what?
Really is.
Wait, what'd you say? A what?
A cult leader.
Cult leader.
He does. A cult leader in the making.
He has David Koresh hair. He really does.
If he would just take the shirt off and wear a vest, but open, and just exist.
And a fedora.
No fedora.
He does kind of look neck beardy though. I do.
I mean, this is probably it's the same thing. Terminally online calling someone a neck beard. That's. I would definitely use that term to describe him. Just fucking. Just get out of your chair.
Yeah, really. There's a whole world, believe it or not. All the fighting for that you're doing.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful world out there.
It is. Well,
go to Banff National Park in Canada and go tell me.
Why that? What a random.
Google. Well, I almost went there, but it fell through. Google Banff National Park. It's fucking stunning.
Wow.
It is so pretty. Canada has some fucked up laws, but beautiful
Yeah.
place.
What? Well,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I digress.
It's all right.
All right.
All right. Anarchist.
Now, you guys have the ability to play it.
Oh
so
yeah,
if
I
you-
can. I always
I
feel
think
like
it's
I'm gonna
better
hit
when
it.
one person does it.
Yeah, and then you're gonna hit it, and it's gonna go, and we're gonna. It's
I've
gonna
done that.
bug.
I've done that already on this stream. Which is why I'm hands off.
Here, I'll hit it right now. Ready? Boom.
It's totally fine if
Oh.
it happens. It's not playing for us.
Oh shit!
So
What the hell?
It's also not playing.
It's playing, but
Are
with
you-
no audio
are
for
you-
me. That's weird. I don't know.
Oh,
what's here. Oh,
refresh
shit.
your page, Andrew.
Oh god, everything's just dying.
This is why one person
Oh
handles
no!
it.
What happened?
This is precisely
Pretty much
why
most of
one
the-
person does
Okay,
it.
there we go. I think we're good. Okay, go
why I
ahead.
Hit play,
Structure
Yeah,
order.
you do it. You go ahead.
motherfucker.
I think.
Pretty much most of the people mad over it
Yeah.
are either Nazis or lying. I know that, for example, TPUSA had that big
that's
event.
That's a fair framing. That's a very fair framing.
Oh,
yeah.
well, wait, if you disagree, like, who is suffering right now from, like, deplatforming who you don't think meets that characterization?
Funnily enough, there's actually been a lot of people on the left who've been getting deplatformed because they're not left enough. Like, for example, Christina Summers is one
Christina
of them as well.
Summers is not on the left, and she is not deplatformed. What platform has she been taken off of?
Universities, have you not seen people charging in and fucking drums and rushing her on stage?
Oh, that's
and
not.
fucking
Wait,
all that shit?
that's free speech. I thought you were like a libertarian. Yeah, that's totally fine. Counter protests are part of the process. Yeah, I thought you meant like getting banned off YouTube and Twitter and stuff.
No, you've heard the whole phrase. You know, your right to swing your fist ends at my nose.
Well, I didn't.
Yeah,
did they hit her? I mean, I don't agree with that.
No, it's the fact that it's like you are absolutely allowed to have your rights. You're not allowed to use your rights to infringe on another person's rights.
I don't think a person has like a God-given right to present to the college campus without being counter-protested. That's free speech. Like you're attacking free speech. Like the sovereign right of citizens to challenge like the platforms of people who present at universities.
Right. Free speech if you don't allow the other person to speak.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't allow them to counter-protest. I don't know, like you're Scottish, I'm American. Like maybe rebellion's born in my blood or something. But like I think counter-protesting is super important.
No,
That's a weird thing to say
That's
there.
a very interesting
Instead-
argument. I didn't pause it for a reason because that is a weird. Because I mean, it's really more the culture around the protesting. Like, you don't see a lot of right wing college protests. You notice that? They're really I find that to be very peculiar.
Let me think.
I think that's what he's kind of more alluding to, is that a lot of that's not really deplatforming. I guess you could, if you get fired from your job as a professor because of something that it depends on what it is. Because even that, if it's the right, or not the right thing, but if it's a certain thing that maybe you should not be teaching. Like I said, I had some professors that I absolutely loathed their classes because they took something that should otherwise be this, academic pursuit and turned it into a very biased monologue about something they don't like. I don't think they should be in a position of academic power. I really don't. I think you should earn that
Yeah.
as a character as much as an intellectual.
Yeah.
So I struggle with that one. That's kind of weird. I think you should be allowed to protest. I took part in a protest, so I would be hypocritical to say otherwise. I don't know. Deplatforming, just deplatforming. That's just one of those weird semantic things. Like, does deplatforming include a position of power that's a profession that's offline? Does that fall under like literally the definition?
Yeah, it does. I think.
I think it
It
does.
probably does.
Yeah.
So maybe I would kind of agree with that.
Deplatform.
That wasn't a great example. I know who Christina Summers is. I won't get into it because it'll be a long tangent, but that's not the one that I would use. I would have to think about that, like who's being actually kicked off. It does seem like it's more right-leaning people than left-leaning people.
It almost certainly is.
But I'm sure that there are left-leaning people that they may even be kicked off for saying something too inflammatory.
Well,
if they
yeah.
say, "Oh, kill your local whatever," and it's like, okay,
Yeah, at that point,
that gets flagged
you're
by the
promoting
terms of
violence.
service. Sorry, choose your words better. I don't know. But even then, it's like that's more of a call to action, right? Like that's sort of. I don't know. It's this gray area because you could argue that it's a joke. What the fuck?
I
This
mean,
stuff
you'd
is
have to
so
listen to how they
awkward.
said it, I think.
Well,
at
if
that
it's
point.
online, if it's on a post,
Oh well, if
right?
it's a
We
comment, yeah, I
agreed.
don't know what to do
Well,
about
that's what I
that.
mean. They'll get flagged by the Facebook police or whatever. They get put in Facebook jail for 24 hours because they, you know, made an insult at somebody or something. Like
Yeah.
even that, I'm kind of I don't know if I like you're either a platform or a publisher. You can't really be both.
Good point.
I don't really like the idea that you are both things. That okay, we are a discussion board that also has, you know, the right to tell you what you can and can't say.
And bias.
I mean, there should be, you know, legal, like you obviously can't, you know, you can't post something that's illegal. Okay, yeah, that should be really the standard. But you can't, yeah, have a bias and say, oh, well, we don't like that you said this thing. And we know that I won't say which specific platforms, but we know that a lot of the major platforms favor maybe one interpretation of something versus another. I'm being very vague on purpose, but like one side can say something and it'll be demonetized or deplatformed. The other side can say something of kind of equal intensity, for lack of a better word, and be totally fine because it's maybe coming from a left-leaning thing. And the powers that be, right? Or these publishers or platforms, they're only as good as the people running them. All it is just people running a thing.
It's not benevolent.
So
No.
right until it becomes run by AI, which even then, who's to say AI won't have bias? Like if you have a truly unbiased artificial intelligence, I almost would rather be in favor of that because then it removes human bias. It goes, nope, I'm going to apply the same standards. Maybe I'm in the minority for agreeing with that, but it removes the human bias. At least if a bot is doing it, it's like, nope, you on the left said something, you're flagged. Nope, you on the right said the same thing, you're flagged. It's at least equal playing ground. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to come back to that one. But
no, we should never put it in the hands of one thing. Like it should. That's the whole point of, you know, having a republic or a democracy is that you have multiple checks and balances that go, hey, well, this is bad. Well, actually, no. The 51% of us, and even that's bad. Founding fathers actually talked about how a democracy sometimes can be bad because it means that the majority can rule over the minority. So even that can be rough. Also, isn't Scotland?
If 9 people want to eat you,
sure, yeah, right. Well, that's and then there's simple majorities.
Eat you, guess what?
Yeah, you're getting eaten.
I don't know what Scotland is.
Scotland is like famous for like Braveheart, didn't they? Wasn't that England? They were rebelling against. Pretty sure Ireland or Scotland. They hate
that
England.
movie's not completely factual.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like, and when has Vaush ever participated in a rebellion, like an actual, even?
Oh, well, no, I'm just being like, oh, I'm an American, so you know,
right?
Rebellion's in my blood. Okay.
So yeah, I know. And that's why I said, oh, that's why when I first paused it, I said, oh, that's a funny thing to say, or a weird thing to say.
So cringy to ride on the coattails of people who have actually done things of value. Come on, man.
That's
even culturally, what do Americans rebel against? We rebel against shit.
We don't. We absorb everything.
Everything. Yeah, everything. We're just cultural consumer fucking. What did Louis say? Product sponge. That's what we are.
Homogenous.
Just product sponges.
Yeah.
It is. It's culturally homogenous. Just whatever's the current thing we support. Just keep on scrolling. Keep on buying your shit. Don't think about it. And everybody's in debt and depressed. Wow. Good. What a wonderful life.
Good rebellion we got going on.
Move to Europe,
I like
somewhere
it.
else.
Pretty cool.
Got central heating. That's nice, at least.
I can buy a gun. That's pretty cool.
You can break out of it.
Just kidding, YouTube. Don't take that seriously.
Buy a gun with blanks. You put blanks in it. That's it. All right. Actually, that can kill you too. A lot of people have died.
Can kill you.
Stupid.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's.
Whoops.
Yeah, that is dumb. Anyway,
it's gunpowder.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, Scotland.
Yeah, the more you know.
Protest is absolutely fine. I encourage it. I've been at events where protesters have came and gave us shit, and I've defended the rights of the protest. Well, I've defended the right to protest right up until they start throwing bricks at us and beating up women. That was a little bit of an issue. But
If Christina Hoff Sommers was physically attacked, I do denounce that. I'm not actually familiar with the specifics, but if people were just protesting, I'm fine with that. What I meant to say, and I want to clarify, was when I say like people are being deplatformed for being Nazis, I mean like on YouTube and Twitter, like these people are normally very far right for them to get like their channels cut, you know?
Right. Okay. Then. So what about? I forget the name of the news publication. I've actually completely forgotten the name of it. It was posting information about the Chinese COVID virus.
Mm-hmm.
It was censored. It was they had their Twitter.
Times?
It wasn't Epoch. It was something else.
I'm not familiar with the specifics of that story. If I looked at it, like, I don't know, there are some things I disagree with. I just meant like when we're talking about deplatforming, I meant like big tech companies.
How about we go back to the whole white supremacy thing?
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to say things that basically a white supremacist would believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for example, ask me, do I feel the white race is superior to all other races? Ask me.
I mean, I think you're going. Oh, sure. Do you think the white race is superior to all other races?
100%. Sorry, I said I wouldn't give me an answer. My real answer is no. I don't. Believe
okay, but I can't.
Ask me. Do I believe in an ethno state?
Would you mind if after you answer that question, I follow it up with some follow-up questions on the ethno-state question?
Absolutely. You can
okay, wonderful. Do you believe in an ethno-state?
No.
Okay, wonderful. All right, I have a couple of questions for you on that specific issue. So in August 28th, 2018, you tweeted, "I am absolutely fine with the replacement of white people as long as it's legal." That's great. I mean, cool, yeah.
Yeah, do you know what that
Well, no,
What do you mean by that?
That's an argument.
That was me taking the piss out of something Theresa May said.
Well, do you agree with that sentiment?
What, the replacement of white people as long as it's legal?
Yeah.
I don't know, like, would it be illegal? I mean, I suppose if they were loading them onto trains,
It's
that'd
not
probably be a bit illegal, but I mean, I don't feel that white people are being removed.
Yeah, okay. So you're okay with America and Scotland and all the other cool countries in the world having pretty much any ethnic composition?
I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens.
Okay, but you're fine with that, like, and you think that people who oppose that are probably in the wrong? Because people who oppose that would be ethno-staters by definition, as long as we're talking about legal immigration.
By the time it happens, I'll be long fucking dead. Why would I give a shit?
Okay, so you think it's fine. There's no reason why people should feel as though they need to like defend their countries.
Well, defend our country. Well, it depends what you mean. I mean, if we're being attacked by a foreign nation, then we should defend our country.
Right, sure. I mean,
that was a weird way to word that. From him.
What?
That people should defend their countries. What, like, that's such a weird conversation. Like, hey, I almost want to roll that back because it's like, what does he mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't really know what you're finding weird. I kind of, whose comment? I think
it was Vaush saying like you're okay with people defending their. Did he mean like defending their country's primary nationality? What the fuck is he talking about?
I don't know. Roll it back a little bit. Roll it back. I gotta take that back in.
Wow. Position.
I mean, if that's what happens, that's what happens.
Okay, but you're fine with that, like, and you think that people who oppose that are probably in the wrong? Because people who oppose that would be ethno-staters by definition, as long as we're talking about legal immigration.
By the time it happens, I'll be long fucking dead. Why would I give a shit?
Okay, so you think it's fine. There's no reason why people should feel as though they need to like defend their countries.
Well, defend our country. Well, it depends what you mean. I mean, if we're being attacked by a foreign nation, then we should defend our country.
Okay, yeah. So he's kind of trying to lead him towards a specific type of answer there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So he's clearly trying to be like, because then if Count Dankula, if he says yes to that or something,
right? It's like, what are you defending against? Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
Be like, oh, look at you, racist. Yeah.
Okay. That came across very. I didn't know that was the context he was saying it in. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Obviously, this whole thing is framed around him trying to prove something here.
Of course.
Okay.
Even though he cannot deductively prove it, you know. Ooh.
He's trying to. He's claiming he's trying to.
Like, I would be so afraid to almost say anything, which maybe is the point.
Yeah.
But it's like at that point, it's like you're going to look for a hole in my argument if I use any word,
Yeah.
or even even a tone to the word that you're like, oh, well, what do you mean? You know, I mean, that just it'd be such a paranoid argument or paranoid discussion to have. Like,
And see, if you were talking to him right now, he would then say to you, "Well, why do you feel paranoid?
What do you have to hide?
because you're going to take every single thing I say
exactly.
incorrectly because
Yeah.
you're being disingenuous, I would say.
Well, and see, and that's where I feel like, luckily, you know, Count Dankula he's been through the ringer much worse, so he's
Yeah.
just he can take this all on the chin, see it for what it is, call it out. So he's pretty, you know, I don't think, and he clearly just doesn't give a fuck. Like he's
I
just
love
like,
that.
I don't, and like, what are you gonna say?
And Vaush
that's
hates
gonna-
that. He hates that because he.
Yeah, he does.
And people hate comedians for that because that's what you're doing. Is you're making fun out of. You're making fun of the thing, which again, to people who care deeply about a social issue, seems like an injustice, but that's also not on the same vein at all. You can be someone who wants, you know, legitimate social justice and joke about social injustice. Both of those things can happen, and that seems like a fallacy to Vaush, where it totally is not. That is not a contradiction to do at all. If anything, it actually reinforces
and that's
it.
just a value discrepancy. That really comes down to just values and how you interpret and like action on, for lack of a better word, you know, action on those values. His values are such that none of this could ever be a joke because of, again, how much he values what he does. And even if Dankula agreed with him 100%, they would disagree on the comedic aspect around it, or maybe how to go about it, or how to persecute it, or how to how to police or filter the speech. Right? This is again a classic case because I think they agree on more than Vaush is willing to admit. I think Dankula will go, yeah, I think he's trying to find common ground, relatively speaking, but they disagree on, well, you know, can you fight racism with comedy? I think you can.
Absolutely.
I think that there's an argument to be made.
100%. Yeah.
So I don't think Vaush thinks that you can do that, or if he does, he disagrees on the kind of comedy. There's so much to unpack here.
Well, even fucking Vaush, I think, said at the beginning of the conversation that he himself has made some, I think, even, you know, racial jokes. So, and that still just throws a fucking wrench into his entire point of this conversation.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, so then how are you going to call him out for this same exact fucking thing?
Yeah, it's dumb.
Yeah.
Rules for thee, but not for me.
Hey.
Of course. Well, that's just number one in the commie handbook right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It is dumb. It's very dumb. All right. Adam, you can go ahead. I don't want to touch it. I just don't. I don't want to touch.
Sure. I mean, like, when I say defend their countries, I'm like invoking like the language of like white supremacists or white nationalists. Like, defend your countries against immigration. So you're totally cool. You don't have a problem at all with like any ethnic composition coming to America or Scotland, as long as they do so like legally and aren't, you know, hurting people.
Yeah, that's fine.
Like, you don't see like immigrants coming into the country and like having higher birth rates, for example. You don't see that as an assault on your country. That's
with babies.
The white supremacists and white nationalists would say that would
the babies are marching over the horizon. They're all heavily armed. They're coming for the white people.
Generally speaking, immigrants commit less crime than the native population. As they assimilate, the rates of crime actually go up because they're becoming more like us. At least that's the case here in America. It's different with refugees, of course, because they're fleeing from much worse circumstances. But the funny thing is that underneath that tweet, a bunch of people call it bait. So you said it was, you know, bait. Which is strange to me because the sentiment, I don't care, I'm perfectly fine with the replacement of white people as long as it's legal, is what you just said to me. You just said that. But back in this tweet, you said it was bait.
Yeah, but I knew it would annoy people.
Okay, usually.
People on the far right, like white supremacists and stuff like that, because I do actually wind them up too. It's not just the left wingers. Sometimes the far right are
believe
pretty
that.
fun to fucking wind up as well, Vaush.
Well, do you
Yeah.
think it's interesting that when you post something that isn't racist, everyone just responds with, "Oh, this is bait, lol, this is bait." But when you post something that's actually racist, everyone responds by being racist themselves.
Sorry.
That...
Yes, because that to people is an inflammatory thing. Like people, you could joke about murder before people will let you joke about racism. That's just a hot topic thing. I believe that that's what he was saying. He was saying, isn't it weird that you can joke about anything else, but as soon as you joke about something politically hot topic, people are going to respond, yeah, of course. And also people that think you aren't joking are going to respond thinking you're, yeah, that's what happens. That's just the topic of your humor. Again, if you make a joke about food, there probably still will be people that are offended. Oh, well, you're making fun of British food or whatever. But like, this is just controversial. That's the whole point.
Yeah,
is that
that's
it's controversial.
contextual.
Sorry, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could subscribe to that. I have to see the comments because
Yeah, unfortunately.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of
not
people
get
even will comment really offensive things under posts to try to invoke this same kind of, I guess, comedy that Dankula does. Like, it is a very common form, especially on Reddit. It's very popular on Reddit. I don't know
they're
about
being
Twitter, 'cause
honest.
I'm not on Twitter.
Some people, like I'm sure that there were
Or they're
people in
being
his
honest.
thread that are racist, and they see
Sure.
his they don't see for what, and then Vaush goes, "Oh, you're pandering to white supremacists," which I think is his entire impetus for this. Is he thinks that by proxy he's a white supremacist because his fans, some of them happen to be, and they out themselves whenever they comment on his joke. That's the whole rabbit hole that we've got ourselves into, which I'm sure he's probably going to say something in rebuttal of that. So
Yeah.
I just hate that. Oh, so just because people are mad means no, that's not. Yeah, it got more exposure because it's controversial. That's the whole thing. That's why CNN loves tragedy, because people will tune in for the controversy. They actually, they thrive on that.
To be fair, it's not just
all of them. It's all of them. You're right. You're right. You're
all
right.
mainstream media.
You're
Yeah,
right.
they
You're
make-
right.
What's it? Buku bucks? Is that the term? They make buku bucks from fucking anything sensational.
Yep.
Like that red whatever tape on the bottom is always breaking news.
Yep.
24
Yep.
fucking 7. It could be Trump ate shrimp for dinner, and because he grilled it instead of sauteing it, it's fucking breaking news because somehow that's divisive. It is. It's all, any for-profit media is going to inherently be problematic. Because then it goes, well, our product, right? Our product is what? Is views, is engagement,
drama and tragedy.
So
we're gonna
we need to alter real life, real facts to drive profit. That is inherently going to cause an issue. And social media companies know this too, which is why I think it was it you, Adam, who said that different people see different comments under shit?
Yes.
I had that recently with my partner. There was some video.
Your male partner.
I don't even know. Yeah, my life partner, whatever.
As in like USPS mail partner. Yes.
Yeah, my clients, my customers. No, my fucking there was some whatever relationship video, and it was something I ended up really disagreeing with, and all the comments were kind of along the lines of what I was thinking about it, and her comments that she was seeing were things that I think she kind of
That's
more
crazy.
It's
That is
very weird.
insane. Yep.
I was like, yeah, I read through all the comments, whatever, and then I realized that there were some that just objectively were not there, that just didn't exist online. I'm like, this is not okay. So they love drama. They want, this is whatever.
I don't think
and
I
you stay
said
on
that. That's actually scary though.
I believe I brought that up. There was some video,
Maybe it was you,
thing
Andrew.
about men and women, and the guy saw some comments, and his girlfriend
Yeah,
shared
so
it with
it was
her,
you, yes.
and they had completely different comments tailored
Yeah,
to
I
them
had
by
a
the
real-world example of that.
algorithm. Is dangerous, man. It really is.
Crazy.
And I don't think, by the way, just to kind of like, I don't think it's for. I think because the Social Dilemma on Netflix, that great like docu
Oh, yeah.
about kind of,
Gotcha.
and I do believe them that they created it as
Drama.
a vessel for, I almost said docudrama, as a vessel for like good, just like all technologies. Who was the guy that put lead in
Me too.
gasoline? They gave him a Pulitzer Prize for that. They gave the guy that put lead in gasoline, and he was like a genius. He was an inventor, and he died. Like, it was awful what he did to an entire generation of children. Like, but it wasn't because he was Hitler, you know. And even Hitler would go, "Well, I was trying to fix Germany." Like, you know, I know that's a totally different perspective, but like, you know, I think they did it to help, you know, provide
he
more
knew
social.
what he was. Hitler knew what he was doing.
Well,
This
sure,
guy
sure,
didn't,
sure.
right?
That's a good point.
Kind of back
That's
to
a
what I
good
was
point.
saying before. Is his intent was genuinely to whatever, to increase the efficiency of petroleum, right? That was his intent.
Yeah, to help
So,
society, and
you know, not that it makes what he did right. You know, Hitler's intent was genocide,
to
was
kill
fucking-
Jewish people.
was ethnic cleansing. If your intent is ethnic cleansing, there's no justification there.
We're getting
At least,
demonetized.
you know, it's like, holy shit!
Oh, geez.
I made a.
That's fine.
We're
Not
getting
monetized anyway. Are you kidding?
Wait, what would be demonetized for that?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I hope not. I hope people can hear what we're saying and go, oh, they're discussing ideas, not drama. That was, I think, Delano, whatever her name was, our FDR's wife, said people.
Well, no. I'm saying the difference between the lead guy and Hitler.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
No, I know.
you
Yeah.
apply the good faith, whatever intent argument is. Hitler's
Social
whole
media
point was to remove.
Yeah.
You know, an entire.
Oh, he
race
did
of
what he
fucking
sought to
people.
do. He did exactly
Right.
what he sought to
There
do.
is no intent other than that.
Yeah.
Is my point.
Right,
The
right,
intent behind trying to do a scientific advancement, even with AI. People say, "Oh, AI, we're moving to the future." There are a lot of benefits in AI. My company uses AI in a lot of amazing ways that totally have reshaped how I think about it. And maybe 30 years from now, if Skynet ends up happening or some shit, you can go, "Well, that wasn't the intention," or maybe it was, and we just don't know.
And I don't think so. Is like
ask that person. I don't either.
I think social media was, like, of course it sounds good to have a thing tailored to everybody. We do that with clothing. Why is that not a bad thing for social media? But now we are divided on what we're seeing, even if it's the same video. That is kind of the avenue.
That's
I don't know.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
That internet theory.
Yeah, that's another. That's.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. Although I guess I maybe sort of like
figured,
like Dan, whatever that conversation you were in with that person, the little debate you had, and I went to go try and find the conversation, but like a huge portion of the comments are just missing for me.
Yeah, some of them are missing for me too.
What the hell?
And I noticed that, and that may just be a server error.
Oh,
like I wonder if Facebook servers
that could
are
literally
just
be
so
the
overloaded
person
that they
deleted their shit,
or that.
But yeah, I mean, I almost wonder, like, a lot of these responses that I even get don't even seem like they're from real humans. Like, they really do seem like, look under, like, if you go to Facebook Reels, Reels.
Oh my God.
Scroll to any of them and look at the comments. Some of them seem pretty real, but some of the other ones seem like an AI said it. There's something really uncanny about it.
It's like picking out AI art. You kind of have to have an eye for it, like you have to see it.
There's certain phrasing and tonality in the words that it's very dry. It's very machine-like, where they respond like a human wouldn't say this. Like, maybe if they were, English as a second language, and they, something was maybe translated in a way, and maybe they don't speak English very well, so they just stick to very simple speech or so. I don't know. I'm kind of saying maybe that is the case, but I don't know. It seems. When I find an example, I'll send you one.
Yeah.
Because it's like, one was like, oh, it was a fan. I follow a lot of Family Guy reels because they're just funny. They brighten my day. They're just clips from the show because I do love old Family Guy. And it was like, this is the weirdest thing that Peter's ever done while high on meth.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck are you? What? Who says that?
Yeah.
Like, that's not. It was just. I don't know. It's just a feeling maybe I get, but it just doesn't seem right. And it's like, are they put there to try to stir conversation? Is it there to just, same thing with the mainstream media?
Actually, I will.
Generating engagement.
A lot of people have been pointing out that content creators. I hate even calling them that. I just hate that word, content.
Everything's on.
Because
Yeah, Travis
content,
Ryan said something about that recently. It's like everything's fucking content.
content.
Now. I agree.
Yeah.
I hate that term. It's not
and
content.
they'll put little things in their video that have nothing to do with the video to get people. Like
Correct.
there was one guy that had some like dancing gremlin hidden in the background.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I say
Or a
hidden.
video game,
Yeah, or that too. Which they'll have the
like the split screen shit. Where
well, and
it's
even
some
that
racing game.
Well, sure. I guess anything. The more shit you can shove into that 10 seconds to get people to talk about, you know.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So yeah, even if it's like, why the hell is there a gremlin in the background? That will help your algorithm. It just will if you have people
Right.
commenting. Because even I want to
Well,
comment on
ads
stuff that
now.
I see.
Advertising is like that. Advertising. I actually used to enjoy watching ads just from a communication, like media, which was literally my concentration was media communication. It used to fascinate me. A lot of ads used to be really clever, and the way that they used to market products was
Sure.
masterful.
Like
I was
Super
like, wow,
Bowl
you're
commercials.
selling an emotion. That's astounding. I learned a lot actually about sales from watching ads and kind of unpacking them. Now they're fucking retarded. It's just some celebrity, usually some
Yeah.
celebrity. Whoa, look at the famous person. It's
Yeah.
a famous person doing something stupid with some other, and the dialogue sucks. The context around it just makes no sense. There's usually some just horrible noise that someone makes or some unfunny
Yeah.
joke.
Yeah.
It's just meant to be
Or
stupid.
a
I'm like, what the
song,
fuck is
a bad song. A lot of them have
Or a
musical
dumb
numbers in them.
song?
Like the one with
Oh
Jason
my gosh, a
Momoa.
lot of the
And he does a backflip off the
or them.
porch, and it's like, oh, it's got a song
Oh,
and a
like,
celebrity.
I know
Hate it.
jingles have always been a thing.
Sure, sure.
Jingles lately, every
yes.
single product fucking
Conditioning.
has one.
It's conditioning. Because they
Oh
saw how
my
well the that did
God.
so well that you don't even have to say anything. You can just sing that jingle. And all of America knows that it's McDonald's. That is fucking crazy. That is crazy.
Well,
Maybe just to me. To me,
yeah.
that's crazy. Maybe I'm looking
I don't
too
know.
into
I
it.
don't
That
know if that's
fascinates me.
crazy.
Well, crazy in the
Because I
sense
mean,
that how they did it.
you could just say the same thing about any fucking famous song, right?
Yeah, but the intent.
Obviously, I think what's crazier, what
for
you're
a
getting at is
company to
more
do it.
so like of a conditioning.
Right. That's
Like,
what I mean.
because like
Right.
they want you to hear that song and go, "Ooh, I'm hungry. We should get McDonald's."
Right. It just worked
Yeah,
on me. I hate McDonald's, but I'm like, shit, man. You know, like a burger. I just think a burger. You think
Well,
even
it's
the
funny.
colors,
It did just
the color
evoke
red.
images in my mind of like a McGriddle, something for breakfast. Now I'm hungry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It works.
McDonald's McMuffins are they're still fire, man. Yeah, that's right.
What are you, a
I said
millennial?
Gen Z slang.
I guess you are.
Nope, I'm Gen Z. Fuck
Ed
you.
is Gen
Yeah,
Z
Look, man, I get
slang.
along
That
with
is-
Gen Z. Look, keep it
No,
100.
stay
all right?
out of
No
our
cap.
culture. Go away.
No
We don't want
cap.
you. Stay away,
All right,
outcast.
for real, for
Go-
real. Yo,
uh,
you're being Ohio right now, man. I don't know.
That's Gen Alpha. Ohio and Skibbity and Riz.
Oh,
That's
is it?
all the. That's all.
See, I'm cool. I'm
Yo,
fucking
wait, hold on.
deserve
What
to be
is
fully-
Skibbity? What is
Okay, so Skibbity Toilet was some meme that was like remember Rafflemow with the World of Warcraft guys, and it was
Yeah.
a video.
Great.
It's
I remember
basically
Rafflemow.
our Rafflemow. It was a video of G-Man from Half-Life or Gary's Mod, if you ever
Yeah.
played that game, and it's his head sticking out of a toilet. I've never seen the full video, but it's just a reference that kids say, and they go Skibbity Toilet, and so Skibbity just became a. I hate how fast I'm saying it because it sounds like I know how to use the word, like I use it a lot, which I don't. But it's basically just Riz. Some people say it's short for charisma, but I think that's a coincidence. I've heard people say that
No, I
it's
think it
not,
is.
but it seems like it should be. Ohio, it has been a meme forever because people go, "Oh, you don't want to like Ohio's kind of like a shitty state."
Ohio fucking sucks.
Right, and so
dude.
people go,
Oh,
"Oh,
that's funny because
Horrendous.
I've been making fun of Ohio since I visited it.
I was gonna
So
say,
it was
well,
a
that-
meme to me personally.
That makes
before
sense.
It was a meme on
Yeah,
Facebook.
well, that's probably why it worked for so long because
Like my favorite fucking meme ever. You know the astronaut meme where it's one person going, "Wait, it's all this,"
and he's gonna
then the
shoot
other one's
him.
got a gun.
Yeah, that's a great
Yeah.
one.
So like the first one
That
of
is a
those
great
memes
meme.
I ever saw was
it was just the cutout of Ohio on Earth, and the
On
guy's
Earth,
like, "Wait,
it's all
all
Ohio."
Ohio," and he's
That's-
like, "Always has been."
So stupid.
Well, whenever
It's
somebody
dumb as shit,
photoshopped
but man, it fucking killed me.
they replaced the dragons in Skyrim with just a cutout of the shape of Ohio, and they're just flying around shooting fire. You ever seen that? It's obviously a mod.
That is hilarious.
It's really funny. You just see the
Obviously-
flying shape of Ohio in
Is it
in
obviously a
Helgen.
mod? Is it?
Oh yeah.
Well, no, I know
Oh,
you said
God,
that like
yeah.
there was even any doubt.
Oh.
It was obviously a mod. I
Yeah,
don't know.
no, that's stupid.
No, that's the
Yeah, you're
vanilla
right.
game. They updated it. That's VR Skyrim.
I could believe it, because I mean
I
that would be
tried
something
VR
that would
Skyrim,
happen,
I had
and
a
they would
panic
never
attack.
fix it.
I can't do it. I hate VR Skyrim. It was so disorienting.
Yeah, it's not.
I didn't
great.
like it. I don't like VR in general. I respect it for what it is, but I already think I'm in a simulation. So when you actually
True.
put me in one, I don't do well.
It's like Inception.
I know, right?
That's great.
Right. Great fucking movie and my favorite director. Anyway, continue.
All right, we can keep going.
Yeah,
He-
where
the
I
whole
don't even know
tangent
where
was
we
me.
were.
I paused it and I said, "Fuck him," basically for
Wow.
saying that. Wow, controversy was sparked on his thread. That doesn't make him a white supremacist. Just because people happen to
right.
comment on the most controversial joke, that doesn't mean that his fans are proof that he's a white supremacist because they are closeted
Right.
and are
I
now
hate
coming
that
out.
argument.
Which is, I hope, what he's
Oh.
going to say. Otherwise, I'm talking out my ass. Go ahead.
Well, no, you paused it, bitch, so it works
Oh, I
for
did.
you. Play
Okay,
it.
so
There
I'll
you
hit
go.
play. That's fair. Whoever pauses
Yeah,
it
whoever-
plays it. That's what
Yeah,
we'll do.
hit play.
All right,
Just,
deal.
I
let's
like
just try it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he found.
That seemed like an interesting
Hey!
juxtaposition to you because I think that might belie a lot of things about you and your audience.
Actually, it's mostly because a lot of people on the far right who browse places like Poll and stuff like that, well, some people who are far right and some people who are far right understand irony. That's why, like, see, Poll used to be 100% absolute irony. Used to be complete fucking irony.
Used
I
to
remember
be?
being on years and years ago. Yeah, years and years ago. Poll was absolute irony. Obviously, as time's gone on, people have thought that Poll, most of Poll is real, and there's a lot of people on Poll who actually do mean what they say. But that's the thing, is like,
What is Poll?
What is
I don't know what he's
Poll?
talking
I have no
about.
idea.
I actually don't know
Poll?
what that is.
Maybe it's a social media
Who-
platform.
I was gonna say I don't.
It
I
might
need
be.
someone else to Google that.
I can do it. Let's see. Poll.
What is Poll? Like maybe a subreddit?
Poll.
It's either that or
Oh.
some sort of like forum.
Oh, it's whenever you create like a survey on social media. How to create a poll.
Oh.
I believe it's
Poll.
like poll. I'm
Are
guessing.
Are
maybe.
you sure about that?
No,
'Cause
not.
he's saying a lot of people on Poll back
Oh,
in the
yeah.
day.
Okay,
as if
let's
that's like
see.
some sort of platform. So that doesn't make
Maybe
sense.
Poll is a social media platform that does polls. Like maybe it's just the meta.
Pole dancing,
Well,
social media, and
not the
employment.
company meta. Fuck me.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe he'll say
Maybe
it
whatever this thing is doesn't exist, or maybe it was a subreddit. I don't know.
on poll. I don't know.
People
Maybe
talk
it's,
That
about
would be my
subreddits as
vote.
if they're
I could see
their
r
own
slash.
that's
that
true.
makes sense.
Maybe it's a place where only Polish people can go to have discussions.
Maybe
It's
yeah. It's only for
r/poll.
It's only for people who use only consonants in their words. Have you ever seen anything written in Polish?
Oh,
It's like a cat. It's like a catwalk across a fucking keyboard. It's nonsense. Just R's and Q's and K's and J's and Z's next to each other. No vowels.
And the words are
What the
8
fuck?
syllables long.
It
Every
is.
every
It's-
word.
Just
All right.
phlegm. Just that's it.
Phlegm.
Sorry, Poland. Your country's beautiful. Your language is insane. That's it. That's how I feel about Poland. Beautiful, beautiful country. Nonsense words. They're like wingdings. You ever seen wingdings? In like a tough word?
Yeah, that's
That's
like
what
modern
Polish is.
hieroglyphics.
It is. It is. Yeah. Fuck. All right.
All right.
All right, I'll
So basically, people who in the far, right wing, those parts of the internet, they understand the irony. People on the left, don't.
I have never
don't
been
do.
under the impression that people on the far right are particularly funny. I've found that a lot of them are fucking stupid. I've just found that they're okay with racism. So when people make racist jokes, they laugh at it because they're also racist.
Sure.
It's not like them having a better sense of irony. It's just them also
Maybe.
being racist. I don't think it means you have no sense of humor if you hear racism and you're like, oh, fuck that, fuck you. I don't think that means you have no sense of humor. I just think that means you don't like racism. But like, again, like if both of these things are bait, you posting the racist 1350 thing and you posting that it's okay if white people get replaced, you get radically different responses from these. See, because the thing is, if my characterization of your audience as far right is correct, they would be upset by or baited by your replacement of white people is okay thing, but they wouldn't be baited by the racism, and that seems to be the case. They just reacted with more racism.
That's them. What's that got to do with me?
Oh,
Right.
so
That's the actions of others.
Yep.
okay.
That's the actions of others. I mean, the fact is, like, my comedy appeals mostly to the right wing, so it's going to bring over everyone from the right wing, including the far right.
To racist.
Right? That's
yeah.
what happened. But, yeah,
Well, in this
far
case, it'd be
right.
racist. There's nothing in either of these tweets that concern conservative fiscal policy. In this case, we're just talking about bringing over racists. I'm of the opinion that content creators are responsible for their audiences. We can discuss that in a little bit, I guess.
No,
I'm a
no,
left-leaning
no. I'm so tired of this shit. No. Sorry. That is insane to think. Because, yes, while generally speaking, you will cultivate, you know, a sort of archetype of person. Like even let's say our channel ends up getting huge, right? We're going to attract people likely from all over the spectrum, politically or autistically, or otherwise, myself included, which is not a joke. I can make that joke. Fuck everyone. Fucking, you're going to get everybody. So if one person says, no, man, actually, I think Hitler's intent was good, blah, blah, blah. And we went, well, you know, what the fuck? Does that now mean that because we had a conversation about intent and mentioned Hitler once,
right,
or whatever, as an example, does that mean that we are now responsible for neo-Nazism?
Right, that's what that's what I said before,
sense.
is that his viewership is a justification for Vaush to claim he's a white supremacist. But then I will admit that, yeah, I think if you're a racist person, you probably are definitely more right-leaning. That doesn't mean that all conservatives are racist, but I also think the people that like comedy that is about anything means you also fall under the umbrella of being okay with racist humor, whether or not you are a racist or not, which, yes, will draw a racist out of the woodwork. That still doesn't mean that he's a racist. It still does not mean that.
Right.
Which
is
he's
doing this correlation causation
he is.
argument that
He
does not hold weight. It just doesn't.
It doesn't.
I'm sorry. You can't. Like, I'm trying to think of another example. You know, I mean, you could take anybody. You could take, it's going to bring out people who support the topic or are comfortable enough with the topic to then have a viewpoint. I'm working through this. To have a viewpoint that's separate from the comedy. That doesn't mean the comedian endorses their legitimate, unironic view of the topic. That is insanity.
If you make a joke about 9/11 and people laugh about it, it doesn't mean you support the Taliban or did or okay. It doesn't mean it's. What'd you say?
I have a bullying joke.
Yes, it does.
I would fucking bully ruthlessly, and I think bullying jokes are hilarious. Even though part of me, you know, you could, I guess, that there's a joke, it might give me a flashback to having my ass beaten in the fucking bathroom. That doesn't mean that I'm not. I will laugh and support a comedian, even myself, like what I said about furries. You know, do I actually think that anybody should actually be bullied?
Right.
No, absolutely not. I would never endorse that. Even somebody who has a viewpoint, even Vaush, I almost fucked up again. Even Vaush, I don't think should be bullied. Even people who I really disagree with, I don't think should be assaulted. Right? I mean, there's, you know, should they be able to handle some humor? Yes. Is making a joke about somebody bullying them? All right, we can have a conversation about that. That I think comes back to intent. But even then, I don't know if I would call that bullying. It is, I guess. But I would never endorse harassment of
bullying.
Somebody.
Is repeat. It has to be repeated. Bullying has to be a repeated thing. So if it's a one-time occurrence, then if it happens once, you're just.
I don't know.
I mean,
say I'm getting bullied by this person.
Well,
not necessarily.
Is that true?
Actually.
At least that's what all the schools say.
No, I think it's more of an action. I don't think it needs to be a repeat action.
Well, you can be mean to somebody and not be bullying them. You can be rude and have a one-time occurrence where you go, hey, he was
Maybe,
rude to
yeah.
me, he pushed me, and then he never did it again. Well, he's not really bullying. He just did that one
He
thing that was
bullied
cunty.
you.
Yeah,
I
it was
don't
a.
know. But I would never endorse that, especially as a former, whatever, victim, whatever. I hate that word, but former whatever of bullying. But I laugh at jokes and even, I'm like, oh, I've even said jokingly, oh, we need to bring bullying back whenever I see somebody that has just such an outlandishly nonsense view that do I actually think that that person should be bullied? Of course not. I think that that person, maybe we should, I don't know, make fun of the views or like
Socially
show how
ostracized.
absurd they are for their own benefit.
Well, and
I
even
don't
if
call that bullying.
even if you made the joke and a bully came up to you and went, "Yeah, man, I totally agree with you," that doesn't make you an advocate of bullying, and that's what Vaush is
Right.
confusing here. He
Right.
cannot see how not black and white this is. He sees it as it can only be that way. He sees it like he's. And people do this with politicians too. Like people will, not that they're always wrong about it, but sometimes like a politician will say something, and people who are much worse people than what the politician is talking about,
Right.
they'll be like, "Oh, look at your
Yeah.
fan base." It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, sure. There are fans that, unfortunately, there are people that support me who I wish
People
didn't.
are just shitty.
Right.
Newsflash.
People.
I mean, really.
They misunderstand the intent behind the person they think is doing something in
That's
their
the magic
favor.
word, that's the one I lean on the most.
Sure.
That really is where I think it boils down to. If his intent is to try to stir up some kind of white supremacist neo-Nazi movement or dog whistle or whatever, okay, all right. I don't think that that's the case. And I would say that there's enough evidence to suggest that that's not the case, even aside from what Dankula's saying. I think, his actions show that he is not actually a white supremacist. You can find fault, again, inductively, deductively, or otherwise, in anything that anybody does. Like, I mean, you could call Vaush a white supremacist for saying glass Israel. By saying, "Oh, you want to kill all the Jews? Wow, you know who else wanted to kill Jews? Hitler. You're a
Yeah, absolutely.
the fuck out of here."
And you could say his
And
fan
you know what
base.
I can call him?
Go ahead.
You know what I can deduce from that statement? That he's an anti-Semite.
Well, that's what I meant. That's actually what I meant to say. Yeah,
Which
anti-Semite.
actually probably holds more water.
Yeah.
Probably,
well, yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Hitler was
I
both.
mean, I've been seeing
right.
a lot of anti-Semitic shit from the Israel-Palestine, and they say that it's not. They say that they're against Zionism.
I know.
But they don't word it like they are.
Right.
They word it like, "Oh, it's Israel." Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they say a lot of things that I don't know, man, could be certainly taken
And what people
in a
do,
pretty anti-Semitic context.
they'll say, "Oh no, I'm not an anti-Semite," and the fact that you're defending them in that way makes you pro whatever they're
Right.
doing, which is also not true.
Zionist.
Why can't you be against both? Why can't you support
Right.
none of the bad things instead of one of
Nope,
one of
you're a
them?
fence sitter if you do that. I'm so fucking tired of people. I'm so over it.
God.
You know how many times I've been called a fence sitter?
I
If I
hate
had a
that.
fucking penny
Oh,
for how many times
God.
been called a fence sitter because
You'd
I
have-
apply nuances to things and people go,
have-
well, no, if you're against this, you support this. What kind of fucking caveman Neanderthalic brain thinking?
That's what it
bullshit
is. We're barely out of the
that?
jungle.
What is that?
We really are.
Gosh,
We're
man. There needs to be tests that you have to pass to get on the internet. I mean that. Every time you log on, you go, okay, there, or there. in
Well,
the sentence.
actually, no.
Not only do you not get to procreate, you don't get to go on the internet.
I go the opposite way. I
that's-
say let everyone on. Let even Hitler expose himself, right? Don't ban Hitler from Twitter, because then all the Hitler supporters will engage in private and collude. You want to expose them. Let them gain followers so that you know exactly who to avoid, who to dox, who to not talk to, who to not let in the group.
Yeah, and the free marketplace of ideas
That
still
too.
exists outside of until free speech actually starts to be censored in like real life outside of Twitter. People are, like we said before, they're not absolved of social ramifications, right? I see it all the time. People walking down the street, whatever. There'll be one of my friends shared it in Virginia, and I don't know where it was, but There was a group of people walking with the little outfits, and they had a swastika flag and whatever, and like everybody was dogging on them. Like you now, I mean, if you do that, you now have put the worst kind of target on your back.
Yeah.
The free marketplace of ideas is going to sort you out. It's going to essentially remove your seat at the table, not because a government said so, but because your ideas just don't hold up. Nobody agrees with that. The majority of the populace doesn't agree with that anymore.
Actually,
I guess maybe in Germany.
I don't know, because there's a lot of socialists, though, and we know, like, I want to agree with that, but I also feel like if that was true, we wouldn't be as stupid as we were. Like if that were true, maybe we have too many people. Maybe maybe small groups have loud mouths. Like if that was true, wouldn't
I do believe?
Wouldn't other ideas not be as popular like socialism?
Well, they're not nearly as hot button. Like socialism, there are legitimate arguments that I've seen, not ones I certainly agree with, obviously, but legitimate arguments for socialism that I've seen from people that believe it. And it's also not taboo to be a socialist. Right?
That's what I mean.
It may be amongst.
That's what I mean. So then, would the
circles.
marketplace of free ideas maybe let a few through the cracks, or like if that were true, wouldn't we? I guess maybe it's that idea is putting too much credence, too much faith in people to make reasonable decisions and have reasonable opinions. Like unreasonable ideas will think about social media or whatever, any consumerist behavior that we just denounced. If people were reasonable, like wouldn't an idea be, hey, this is bad for us, we shouldn't do it, but we know people do it anyway. People are addicted and people are codependent to bad behaviors. Like Nazism is an easy one because we fought against it. Like there are probably ideas.
No upside. There's no upside to Nazism. You could argue that there is an upside to socialism, right? For one reason or another. So it means that there's a conversation to be had.
Well, at one time, people thought that.
There's no conversation to be had with an extremist person.
At one time,
that's just what it is. It's extremism.
Like in 1940, I'm sure people could argue there was a reason. Like if you put yourself back, like Nazism is kind of an old one, so it's an easy one to use because we fought against them and we saw what they did. We revealed the secrets of why it was bad. Really, not everyone knew about the concentration camps. Really, and Japan actually did way worse stuff than the Nazis. Group 731, the rape of Nanking,
well,
the fire bombings.
Let's not go down this line.
Okay, sorry. I don't
really want to start playing like who did worse things. I don't really want to go down.
Well, no, I was gonna say, but we love Japan.
You could say comparable things that are lesser known is what maybe I would say.
Okay, sure, whatever. Sure. They were both.
Even North Korea does. North Korea's fucked up, man.
Well, but I'm saying, but then why did Japan survive our favor when Nazi Germany didn't? Is the thing. Like I guess what I'm saying is something can be just as bad or not as bad as something else.
Did it really? I mean,
we love Japan. We nuked them, but then we
do now.
We wrote. That's what I mean.
I mean, we don't hate Germany.
No,
now.
we don't. But we don't talk nearly as much about Imperial Japan and Hirohito as we do.
I mean,
that's true. We almost celebrate.
Or Stalin too.
And then they got out of the war, and now it's 100 years later. And
well, we also wrote their constitution after the war. Like we became friends with them, whereas
we did not like the Japanese very much.
That's what I mean. So, like, what was the difference there? Like, why do we, now we celebrate Japanese culture? It's a different culture. But like, we don't. I think people look fondly back on Imperial Japan. They buy samurai swords. We watch anime. Samurai Jack.
All the video games.
Imagine
Tsushima, the new Assassin's Creed.
Sure.
Imperial Japan is celebrating.
Imagine if after Samurai Jack, you got to watch Third Reich Tommy or whatever. You'd be like, wait a minute. Not that samurais were what Hirohito. But like, really, like if, I don't know, maybe this is a weird, or even Italy, Mussolini, Stalin killed 30 million and
Mussolini was horrible. Mussolini was really bad.
He was, yeah.
But okay, but
I'm not going to not celebrate being Italian.
Where are you going with this exactly?
I just the idea that like, cause I don't know if the marketplace of free ideas will always filter out the bad ideas. Sometimes it will, in the case of Nazism, but
Well,
sometimes
I
it
guess.
won't.
Well, yeah. I mean, if everyone agreed with Hitler, well, then I guess in that scenario, then like society wouldn't see it as a bad thing, right?
That's true. Maybe I'm
But
giving it too much credit.
no, I don't know. I think generally, like
Generally,
most
it's
people
good.
agree that, right? Like everyone kind of agrees that murder should be illegal. Like,
Right.
obviously, aside from serial killers and shit, but
Yeah.
and shit, maybe
Right.
even they
Yeah.
agree, but I don't know.
Well, but there's such
But
a minute,
well, exactly.
percentage.
I don't know
Like
though.
at some point,
if
at
it
some
was
point in history, we all decided like,
no, if it
I
was
don't want to be
legal,
murdered.
I think more people would murder if it was legal. I really do. Like road rage. People commit physical harm to people all the time. What's going an extra
That's
step?
true.
I've heard people's, I'm sure there are
Yeah, I
people
think
we've
more
wanted.
people would murder.
So that's like but even then you could say,
Well, it wouldn't be as taboo. Like, and I know that sounds redundant, but it would be seen almost. You know what it would be? It would be very divided, kind of like abortion is.
right.
It would be people who see it really, really, really bad, or it would be like, who gives a fuck?
It would be
murder's
divided
legal.
like
Fuck you.
socialism or healthcare or
Right,
any other
yeah.
thing. It's like, I don't know. I don't know if something is a free market. Like even the Constitution we don't agree on. That should be the simplest one. Like, really, I mean, isn't that the framework, or one of the pieces of the framework of and we still disagree on that? It's a weird country we live in because it's like, okay, well, we have a basis. You have to have a foundation for a political culture, for a societal structure. But then we disagree on like the core tenets, which I don't think is a good thing.
I don't either.
Like, I don't know. Like, it is good because it's okay to have the different, anything could be changed and fixed.
The issue with our culture is if you go to other, and I know I bring them up all the time, but if you go to other cultures, specifically in Europe or even Asia, wherever, they have a universal, for the most part, they have a universal set of values, like Iceland, for example. Just because we went there, I can speak to it, and Adam will attest to this. Like they value protecting their ecosystem above almost everything else. Like they have so much of the country blocked off where you can't even walk on it, drive on it, anything like that. It is the cleanest place I've ever been in my life. It is, well, except for a couple of the places where there were fucking trash wrappers, and that was the maddest I think I've ever seen Adam. Just like,
oh, dude, I was getting so pissed off.
I know.
Like,
I was actually scared.
I mean, well, it's not that those places weren't clean; like they were still.
No, it was
like
a tourist.
pretty much.
It was a tourist that were leaving wrappers and shit. I should have mentioned that. But that's a core value. Is the country said the government, the natives, they value keeping a clean, untouched by humans, undamaged, undestroyed ecosystem, the moss, the whatever, wildlife, all of that, the sacred areas, whatever, the sites of interest and things that have historical meaning, all of it was pristine as fuck. Even the city was pretty clean. And that's just a cultural value. There is no division over that. And as a result, their country, because of the unison, right? Because of that collective agreement of that value, you saw that kind of harmonious, whatever, that culture that put into place, right? It had a literal manifestation of their value by having a very clean, untouched by humans, and that's what happens is whenever you have things like that, like in Japan, you can't walk and eat your food at the same time.
Yes, I've heard
they
that.
Actually, they frown on that or whatever. They're like, no, sit, eat your food, take time to, digest your meal. And they also value cleanliness. They have a lot of other values over there that as a culture, they agree on. And that's progress to me. Is you have to, like, the pen is mightier than the sword. You can debate all day, discuss, but until you find common ground, there's going to be this unrest, this tumult of this middle ground, right? Between, well, what do we do? You can't action on something unless you agree as a collective entity which way to go. And I think that's part of the reason why we're seeing our culture in decline is because there's no forward movement anymore. It's just people fighting and this, this cascading of subcultures, right? That you see just going out further and further. And then even amongst like the social justice warriors, they start to kind of cannibalize themselves because they go, well, I'm part of this group, but if you don't believe in this and you're whatever, then that group is like, no, and they start to eat each other alive. And we wonder how we got here. And it's because we can't fucking agree on anything. There is no value. I don't think there's a single value in America that everybody,
Every
for the most
American. Well, we forgot the
every
most
American-
important aspect of freedom, which is responsibility with the freedom. We kind of
Yeah.
said, "Oh, we got the freedom. We're the superpower in the world. Now we just get to do what the fuck we want." And it's not true. We have to maintain, like you said, that cultural, something. We have to find what do we all agree on? Yeah, that's a good question.
anything.
What
Anything.
we
at
all agree that we need to eat food. Okay, good. Good. Okay, what else? Need
God, do we all agree on that? Wow, I bet there's someone out there who doesn't.
All right. How about politically? Is there anything we all agree on? Because that's true.
I don't think so.
God.
Like,
I really don't think there's a
it's-
single thing.
It's weird to have a country where you have the freedom to kind of do what you want for the most part, more so than most historical countries. But
Even the freedom itself, people don't agree on. They want more government control.
yeah,
They want the government to, impose things for security. And then there's obviously the opposite, where they don't say don't trade freedom for security. They kind of go the
yeah,
Molotov solution route, which I personally more so subscribe to. I would much rather have freedom and have the autonomy to defend myself and to have that risk without having some governing body taking care of me and protecting me and everything, but then imposing their rule and their will over me, that kind of panopticon. I would much rather not have that than, the alternative. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people live in cities for that reason. They like the protection, the security, whatever, which I kind of understand. I think also, again, a lot of people agree on things, but disagree on how to go about them. People can agree on even on the economy, but go, well, and a lot of it comes from ignorance, right? Economics, as you know, is a science, and an art very much so is like there's things that are kind of, I think, objectively true, right? About economics, where you're like, no, motherfucker, this isn't up for debate.
yeah.
This is how it works.
It's a principle.
But then you tie in the social policy and say, well, this isn't ethical. Yes, it may be good for the economy, but it's not as good maybe socially or more.
No.
Might agree and be the most diehard capitalist, but then also, which is kind of where I fall. I want it to be both. I think it can be both to an extent, but most corporations maybe don't, or maybe most conservatives don't care as much about the social side, whereas more leftists, more left-wing people care more about the social side, not as much about the economic side, which is why they need more socialist, right? That's what that is. It's in the fucking name. So how do you vote? How do you elect a president, a leader, right? That, like, if people aren't even willing to have the conversation and go, well, what if we just talk this out? No, if you're a capitalist, you're some pig, they just instantly, the ad hominems come out. Whenever the first thing, the knee-jerk reaction to a label, whether it's left-leaning, right-leaning, pro-life, pro-choice, whatever, whenever the first knee-jerk reaction by the opposing side is an ad hominem, discourse dies.
Of course.
And that's where we're at. That's where we're at. That's where we are at. I deal with these people all the time. It stresses me out, but I really try to get through to them. I feel like that's why I'm on this earth, is to try to find some common ground. And it's getting harder and harder to do that. And it makes me sad. My therapist wants me to voice my feelings more often. It makes me sad. It really does. It fucking does, man. It makes me feel sad and lonely. But how's that?
Agreed.
Wow. That took an emotional turn.
It did, but I have unmade fruity raisin snacks to make me happy again. So,
Just push it down with consumption.
absolutely.
Like a good American
Absolutely.
boy.
American.
Damn right. All right. Anything else, Adam? You got anything?
No.
All right. We're
how
almost.
much longer are you guys wanting to go? We're at 2 hours.
We could go to
I'm free.
11 or whatever you want to do. I don't
Yeah.
care. We can
Stop
go.
at 11. That's fine by me.
Or sooner. It was
Yeah,
Dana-
that's fine.
Yeah, let's do 11.
No, yeah, that's fine.
I'm very upset.
11's fine. I got,
All
class
right.
early in the
Got
morning.
my
so-
sugar rush.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's do this.
All
All
right.
right, let's keep going.
Finish it out.
Left-leaning person, I have a very, very strict control over what my audience does and believes.
That's fine, but I'd like to go back to the white supremacy thing, because after all, that's
Yeah.
the point of the debate.
Well,
Yeah,
I would
sure.
like to see some of that too. Like maybe pick another topic.
Right.
Oh yeah, sure. No, we're nowhere near
no.
done. I'm just interested because I knew we were going to do the joke thing like quite a bit.
On the white supremacy. I want to focus on the white supremacy. So, say for example, mixed race relationships. Ask me if
I don't care about what you say, yes or no. What I'm interested in is testing your reactions to things you've said in the past.
I'm not. If you want to know if I'm a white supremacist, then you should probably ask me, what my beliefs are in certain areas to see if my beliefs match up with white supremacists.
How about instead of asking you what you believe, what if I asked you what you oppose? That's what I'm more interested in. Because if you oppose something, here, I'll give you an example. Okay, wait. I'm reaching out right now.
White supremacy.
But I'm trying to talk about that. Do you like child molestation? Is that a thing you're like a fan or a proponent of?
Oh god.
Huge opponent of.
Okay, good. So if you were talking with other child molesters and they were like, I love getting my hands on kids, and you were on a podcast with them or like a YouTube show, would you just sit there and laugh with them, or do you think you might push back a little bit? And these are actual like child molesters. These aren't people making edgy jokes. These are people who
I've literally debated them in the past. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you'd agree, like it's morally apprehensible for you to be in a position where you're agreeing with and like bolstering like child molesty values.
Yeah, but I know you're trying to compare that to the far right. But whenever I'm hanging out with them and talking to them, I don't agree with them.
But you hang out with them and you laugh at their jokes and share their audience, right? Which I'd feel uncomfortable with if we were comparing these people to child molesters.
But this.
You like.
First of all,
Oh
that
my
chat
God,
on the
man,
left
like,
is a
that is
fucking
absurd.
nightmare.
What a fucking, what's the right word for that? Like, he's equating him hanging out with
Equivalence something.
right wingers as
I think that is a false
if he
equivalence.
was hanging out with.
Yeah, I would say that's a false equivalence fallacy. I think that fits the parameters of a false equivalence.
Like, because the worst you're gonna get with like differing political beliefs is differing political beliefs. You can be friends with someone you disagree with. Wow, what a concept.
Well, and the counter argument to that is not if it's an infringement to someone's humanity,
right?
Then it's no longer
Exactly.
a belief. It is now,
which that's what fucking pedophilia is. Like, obviously.
Well, and a lot of political things are moral. Like, if you don't think abortion is if you know someone and you think abortion's bad and you know someone, it might be hard to hang out with them. And boiling it down to, well, they're liberal minded would be a bit of reductionist.
Now, I know Dan and I are kind of a special case. We can kind of fucking talk about anything and disagree on all sorts of shit and then just, keep hanging out. But, Dan and I disagree on quite a bit of things, and even some issues that are possibly moral ones. I don't know. Does that mean I endorse Dan's views?
Well, if Daniel, God forbid, ever did something morally reprehensible, more so, like if Daniel became like, sorry, Daniel, throwing you under the bus. If Daniel started like beating people up frequently, like just fighting people, like if he became an assault, would you still want to be friends with him in the same way?
No, but again, that would
molesting.
But why are we equating those two things, like differing beliefs to that?
I mean, white supremacy. White supremacy is not as bad, but like I would put it on that same moral, detriment.
Not as bad as what?
As like
pedophilia?
child, like pedophilia is way worse.
I'm not even going to open that can of worms.
But I would want to be friends with both people as little. Sorry, holy crap! I would want to avoid them at the same level on a social level. Maybe the pedophile more, but I'd want to avoid them. Bottom line. Does that make sense?
Yeah. The white supremacy belief, that would be, I would say, that is starting now. You believe that.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a direct infringement on other people because there's just you believing something isn't an action, but that to me then says, oh, like you believe someone else's rights should be infringed upon in that case.
Might be hard to be
friends.
friends.
Yeah, I don't think I could be friends with you at that point.
Like that's kind of like it's like, well, do I want to be friends with somebody who has a shitty character about them because of their belief? Yeah, I mean that's really just kind of setting boundaries for who you associate with. Like that really should be up to the individual. But
In that scenario, yeah, I would not be friends.
but
with that
yeah,
person.
I think there's some cultural universals that should be frowned upon, right? Like the ones that we're mentioning. Most people, I don't think, would want to be friends with people who share those beliefs.
Yeah.
I think they would be very unpopular at every party.
Yeah.
And Vaush is
So-
saying,
Yeah, I just
does Dankula hang out with not hang
rewind
out
it
with?
a little bit because I actually need to know if he said far right or just right. Because if he said far right, then what they mean is Nazis.
Yeah.
And even then, what does that mean? Like, you can be far right and not be a Nazi.
Well, no, hold on. I
Like, these
think that
words
term
matter.
is strictly no. I mean that term. It doesn't literally mean you are like. It's literally just been turned into. That means you're like.
In this
Or
argument,
even like-
yeah.
Or what's another one? That if you're a nationalist, I've heard that one used.
Yeah, white national.
Well, yeah. If you say you're a white,
Well, not even a white
nationalist
nationalist. I mean, if you're just
Um,
like nationalism, generally is equated with some kind of.
I don't think I actually know specifically what it means. I'd have to read it. What is that?
I mean, I've always thought that meant pride in your country.
That's what I thought.
But like Hitler was a nationalist because he had pride. So and people equate those. They take the extreme and they go, well, like Daniel said, if a rectangle is a square, well, that doesn't mean the square is a rectangle.
Right.
It's not. It's just not
It's just a
fair,
coalition
for lack of a. Yeah, that's what it is.
Let me see what. Let's see. Nationalism. It's a political ideology. It is an idea or movement that holds that the nation should be congruent with the state.
Ooh. Geez.
As a movement, it presupposes the existence and
statism,
tends to
basically.
promote the interests of a particular nation, especially with the aim of gaining and maintaining its sovereignty over its perceived homeland to create a nation state. It holds
Okay.
that each nation should govern itself, free from outside interference. That a nation is a natural and ideal basis for a polity.
Wow, I don't know that word.
The fuck? A polity is a group of people with a collective identity who are organized by some form of political,
Are you-
institutionalized,
This is
social
the shit that
relations.
people don't do.
Did you click on the little
This is-
blue link? You can just keep
Hell
going
yeah,
down the
I did.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, because every fucking article I open,
doesn't
it has some
matter.
word I don't recognize.
It does matter. You're right.
I've never seen or heard anyone use polity.
That's
It's
funny.
literally
Polity, yeah, I don't know if I've ever heard
POLITY.
That's a weird one. That's funny. Just keep on going. What's this word? Oh, polity.
So yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't
right.
unless I have to
Just
read like
duh.
80 pages of this and to get to the racism. It sounds like nationalism on its own does not mean
Is
anything.
not.
Obviously, if
Yeah,
you're a
that's what I
white
thought.
nationalist, then you believe
Right.
essentially
Which
right.
requires
Yeah.
the word white, right? to be
Yes,
put in
exactly.
there, in which case, yeah, that makes sense.
We don't take
So-
care of our language. We don't take care
We don't
with
take
it.
care of our language.
We just throw words out. Like, oh god. Connotation and
yeah,
denotation.
I blame social media for that specifically. Specifically, it's because of social media.
Wow, let me think.
Because
I think it's helped
everything
it.
then
It's helped.
became-
I don't know if it's the cause.
I-
Education. Like, I feel like social
that's-
media. I mean, social media has definitely. Well, typing. I don't know. Let me think. I don't know. Slang to me is like not a horrible thing. It can be, but
No, slang
don't
isn't bad. It's whenever you change the definition of words or misunderstand the definition of words,
yeah.
to either fit a narrative or just because, I don't know, the culture itself around the words switch.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many words now that are just so far removed from their initial meaning because a political ideology or whatever took it and kind of warped it into something that it didn't initially mean.
Like the
And
Pepe
you almost
thing
have to be part of this.
with the Pepe frog.
what?
How the Pepe frog was associated with like.
I'm trying to think of a better example, but
I know that's not
even
like
like
language.
if you could use nationalism as an example. Like if you say, "Oh, you're a nationalist," oh, what? Like even with the American flag, there's people on the left that think that like wearing the American flag or being really patriotic is like a far right thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
it's a very Republican or whatever, or even a white nationalist, whatever thing. Oh, you're, they equate the U.S. flag with some kind of oppressor.
Which, think about how dumb
of
that
sorts.
is. Like, think about how dumb it is to be like,
That's
hey, I want to
insane.
be proud of my. I don't agree with everything it does, but it doesn't make me a white supremacist just
No,
because
and I don't even.
I want to be pro-America. I do. I live here. Why would I not want it
Yeah.
to get better? You know?
Yeah, people
You're wearing
think it makes you like pro-colonizer. Like
Yeah. It
pro-colonization
makes it
and
sound
all
like
this
you're
stuff.
pro everything they've done bad. What about the good stuff? What about the cancer research we
Small
invest?
tangent. That's a term I really dislike now for that people use against white people. They call them colonizers.
Colonizers.
Oh, fucking
I know, it's like what, you want to
but
wear an
that's
Old
not
Navy
racist,
shirt
though, is
and
it?
now you fucking hate minorities? Like, what is the distinction between supporting a thing that is on the large scale universally benign, right? Like the American flag is a universal, like that's just our nation's flag.
Yeah.
How did we go from there to, being like, oh, this person fly, like people attribute the American flag with like the Nazi flag. I've seen people do that where like, oh, or
I don't know
and
how
I understand
common that is, but
being critical of like the imperialism, like Western imperialism, or the military industrial complex, or a lot of the oppression that we have done. Like, I understand not being necessarily patriotic anymore. I'm kind of starting to get that way with just the way that America's becoming, not just culturally, but even our military force is no longer just like for defense or taking out fascist leaders like Hitler. Like now it's become this whole for-profit corporate entity. Like I understand kind of the dissension from the patriotism from the 60s, 70s, etc. I get
Sure.
that. But the problem, people, you give people an inch and they take a mile. And then a lot of these terminally online people see problems with everything. And they love to jump to these conclusions that say, oh, well, America is responsible for this, this, and this. And they make a mountain out of a molehill. And then they make these, it's like that It's Always Sunny thing. The guy, I forget his name, where he has the board with all the things.
Charlie, yeah.
Yeah, they do that with every little politicizable thing. And then they just frame it in, oh, well, that's what America stands for, thus making the American flag. Like that's the level of correlation causation we're talking about.
Which is funny because that's usually the government doing those things, and then those people tend to usually be relatively liberal, but then they're typically pro more government or they're socialists, and it's like, yeah, good,
ironic?
you're denouncing the government that you claim deserves more power. It's total cognitive dissonance. I know that's not everyone, but usually, yeah, conservatives.
No, but it's enough to scare me. Like it's enough that even sort of rational people that I see fall victim to it or fall prey to it, where I go, come on, I really thought you were better than this. But no one is immune from propaganda, really.
No.
I see really, even myself.
That's what makes it propaganda, is the fact that it's not really, it's to trick you. It's designed to deceive. Dude, I mean, think about, like, Hitler was elected. Hitler, people, like, I don't think all of Germany wanted to do.
He won by one vote.
He convinced them. Yeah, they used to walk out, and so that they couldn't get anything done. Like they staged almost a coup. But then I saw a great like type of kind of Disney animation about like how it can happen to anyone, and it was inside this guy's head, and he was watching Hitler give a speech, and there were two versions of him. There was like a wimpy, skinny, but really logical representation of him, like a human, what is it called whenever you're personification? And then there was a really strong, emotional, not super intelligent version. And the emotional, not super intelligent version was watching Hitler give a speech and being like all proud and, oh yeah, Germany, we need to revive. But then the weak logical side was going, well, but are you really listening to what he's saying? And the big strong version beat him up and like made him do the goose walk. And it was kind of like showing how if we can get impassioned, we can get convinced. And we can, it takes out our logical side. Our logical side is very, like we like to say, it's very nuanced. You have to be careful with it. It's like a computer. It's delicate. You got to put it in the right environment to have it really function well.
That's why I hate emotionally based arguments. I always have and always will, because there's the only thing it's rooted in is how someone feels about something. And emotions get very easily clouded. They get very easily manipulated. You can justify emotions. I mean, there are literally crimes of passion that are actually treated differently in the legal system than standard crimes because they were so overtaken by their emotions because they caught a spouse cheating on them that they came in and murdered somebody. Like, I mean, that's how powerful they are. Whenever you have an entire culture of people or whatever, subculture of people making not just decisions, but legislature on largely emotionally driven topics or concepts, and the logic just goes out the window, people like us are going to be seen as, the outliers. Of course, we're going to be the outliers because we're putting thought into things that people don't even care to put thought into because it challenges the way they feel so much. It hurts them. It hurts them even to ask questions because it's like, no, how can I challenge this? I believe this in my core. This makes me feel a certain way. This is my paradigm. It's rooted in my heart and soul for one reason or another, even if it's not founded in any science or logic or reasoning at all. Talk somebody out of that. You could show them actual evidence against it. And I know, Adam, me and you talk about this all the time, people who we try to debate or discuss with, that we will literally prove them wrong empirically down to the bone, and still they'll stand their ground because it just doesn't feel right or because they don't like it or something. People who are intelligent people, I don't get it. Like, that is a blind spot I pray to Almighty God that I never have about anything, to where no matter what it is, I can say, yes, I hate that this is true, but I will not live in willful ignorance, and I have to change my worldview, even if it kills me to fucking do it. Even if I die from just not being able to handle it, at least I can die an authentic man. That's a value that we don't have as a culture. We don't. People stick to their laurels even whenever it's destructive. For what? Hubris? Like, how far have we fallen? I don't know. Maybe humans were always like this. Maybe this is just destined to be.
Sure.
Especially as I love
to destroy
idiocracy.
yourselves. Yes.
Yeah, it is. I side with the Reapers from Mass Effect. I get it.
Oh no.
I totally get.
You say that until one comes
Joker.
down and you shit your pants twice, and then and you go, please, Commander Shepard, and you're expecting a big strong man, but canonically it's a woman, and then you don't know what to think. How about that?
That's true. That's true. I know you'll be happy.
I played as the guy. I played as him. It feels like it should be a guy. Commander Shepard
It's canonically a woman.
Yeah, supposedly.
Canonically, it's a woman. Yeah, Commander Shepard's a woman.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Since when?
Since 2007. Yeah, whenever.
What? Then why was it always a man on the cover?
That's a good question.
I don't know if it always was.
It
was
always
original.
was. It was literally always the man. I owned a copy of the original on 360.
Look it up.
It was a man.
Here, I got you. Hold on.
I don't have a good answer for that.
It's ever been a woman.
Commander Shepard. Woman.
Fucking great character.
Unless I'm insane. Which
fact remains, Commander Shepard was initially conceived as a woman warrior. Later began life as a woman. Let's see.
This just in: Commander Shepard is trans. That's my theory. I think that's what I stick.
Gender reaffirming care.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, and 22.99 or whatever the fuck the year.
True. I bet a fucking AI did it at that point.
Yeah, FemShep. They call it FemShep.
Yeah.
FemShep.
FemShep.
Created as a woman.
Okay. Well, so like this is like originally like they were gonna do
supposedly,
a woman, and then
according to EA, that's what I always read.
Shepard's canonical gender is Commander. People are funny.
Correct.
All right.
I'm fine with that.
Let's get back to this fucking. Oh no, what's happening?
Anyway,
let's get as much in as we can.
It's gonna take us 8 episodes to fucking get through.
That's fine.
We're not getting through this. We're never going to. Like,
I hope we do.
calling it. Like
We might.
Feels like
we're
starting
like
to
we'll have
see the
to.
depth force.
Honestly, Dan, you and I should just watch this one day when I come
We
over and
can.
finish it out.
We'll
Yeah.
put it.
Because you and I could get through this
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
maybe.
Put
Right
it
after
up.
our Christopher Nolan movie binge, we will watch the end of this.
All right.
What? Andrew?
And
I was just saying we should put
and,
all
what
of.
was the other thing?
You could like playlist
And
all the
Pulp Fiction.
videos that are specific. Like if we talked about Finn McKinsey's video more than once, we should put that in like a music whatever playlist. This
Yeah.
can be the the
I mean, I
Vaush
could, like,
playlist.
The way well, sure. It's
Different
just
thumbnail.
I don't know if I want to keep doing live episodes of this. That's why I said we should probably do
Oh.
offline episodes
Oh,
to
sure.
finish this thing out.
Yeah.
Because then I could just upload the rest of them and throw them in a playlist like that.
Yeah. I think you can still move them
and that
into
way
a
we could
playlist
have.
if you've uploaded them.
Well, no, yeah,
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
saying I couldn't. I'm saying that way, at least every week we're not still on this video because realistically, we need a solid like 8 hours. Like, to get
yeah.
through. At this fucking rate, are you kidding me?
Hey, when you tune in, you
so-
never know what you're gonna get. Maybe we continue. Maybe
Well,
we
yeah,
don't.
and I mean, I'm not saying I couldn't
is.
go for that long, but I don't usually. We start
Yeah.
so late usually that I just don't have that amount of time.
We could do an earlier thing. We could
and
start
so
at
I
like
would
3.
usually have to. Well, yeah, I was gonna say I'd have to start it like way earlier in the day on a weekend.
We could do that. We could plan that.
Um,
I'm usually free on the weekends. Yo, homie.
Okay.
I would be up for that. I'm
Might
kind of
be
up for
able-
anything. I'm starting to love doing this. So good convos.
Darn it.
We're
You
archiving
weren't
our
a fan
stuff.
from the beginning.
What'd you say? What do you want? Yeah, I do.
Not a true fan then. If you didn't love it from the get go.
Yeah, if you don't remember our first Ben McKinsey video back in 2024, this is 2080 now. We're half cyborg people.
That wasn't even our first episode.
No,
I
it
think
wasn't.
That was our third.
It wasn't. Yeah. All right. 8 minutes. Let's do this.
All right.
But this is the thing, right? See, whenever I'm talking to these people and hanging out with them and stuff like that, do you think I'm just sitting and laughing and smiling along and I'm not challenging their beliefs in any way?
I've watched your things. I think it's a characteristic of spinelessness. So you'll share an audience with them. You'll laugh with their joke. Wait. So you'll share an audience with them.
But how am I going to reach them and change their opinions if I don't speak to them?
I would be very interested if you could find a single far-right person whose opinions have been moved farther to the left for their interaction with you. I'd be very interested in seeing if there's any evidence of that claim. I've moved many people farther to the left.
I will not do it on stream. After this is all done, I will give you names. I will give you names.
Sure. Oh, sure. Okay. So you've
Dankula, I'd be really interested to hear about that as well. By the way.
Yes, there are people that I have literally sat down and had conversations with. There's some people who I have tried my fucking hardest. I tried for a very, very long fucking time, and I could not fucking get through to. And then one person.
What were you trying to move them on?
Just
Can you
basically.
give us an anecdote?
One of the primary ones is I can say it now because he's completely gone from the scene. Millennial Woes. He blames the Jews for everything. Everything's the Jews' fault, and we used to make fun of him for it and everything. Like, we were in London having drinks, and we went outside for a cigarette, and he went, "Oh, it's fucking raining again," and I said, "Oh, it's those Jews with their weather control machines and stuff like that." I was taking the piss out of him, blaming everything on the Jews. But then, like, when we were sitting down and talking, like, I was having the chat with him where he's like, "Oh, Jews this, Jews that," and then I said, "Yeah, but it's not just Jews that are doing that." And he's like, "Oh, but here, look, there's evidence of this and there's evidence of that, and Jews are doing this and Jews are doing that." And I'm like, "Right, okay, so picture I do this, right? Someone turns around to you and says, Scottish people are alcoholics, right? And you look at just Scotland, you're looking at just Scottish people, and you find some alcoholics, and then you go, oh, well, that confirms it then, Scottish people are alcoholics." And I'm like, so see if you hear that Jews are schemy and doing shit like that, and you're looking only at Jews, then obviously you're going to come away thinking that Jews are schemy. Whereas if you expand the spotlight and you pass the spotlight over fucking everyone, then you'll realize that literally everyone from all walks of life is doing fucking schemy shit. The only thing they all have in common is they have power. And, like, you know, people with power all want more power, and that's why they do fucking schemy shit.
Do you
What's with the face?
think the Jews have
try
a
it?
disproportional amount of power?
No, that's not what I said.
Okay, I don't think that is. I'm just clarifying. I'm just making sure.
Pick any group, any political party.
Okay,
God,
I'm just
what a dick.
So I will say
That's insane.
It sounded a little like I don't think he thinks. I kind of see like why he wanted to clarify. It seemed like he went from.
I don't.
I don't know. I heard that kind of the way that he heard it, and I don't think he was saying that out of malice. I think he just was kind of trying to go.
He was telling a story about his friend that thinks this shit.
No.
And then he literally just says,
Well, no,
"No,
he
it
was saying
doesn't."
anybody who does schemy shit.
Schemy shit.
The only thing they have in
Yeah.
common is that they have power. People in power do bad things because they have the power to do it.
Yeah, I think
it doesn't matter if you're anybody.
I think Vaush heard
Anybody, if you
they.
have power.
He heard him say they, and he thought that pronoun was referring to the Jews because he was talking about it.
Primed and ready to find problems.
Yeah,
with shit.
he is.
You
I was
can
gonna
see it
say.
on his face. You can see the gears turning in his brain. Like, oh, he needs to. Oh, hang on, there's a red flag. Just fucking no friend, probably no girlfriend. Just gonna die alone.
I don't know.
I don't like this guy.
No, he has a huge following. I think. If anything, he has
this guy
support.
is a fucking something.
A huge following of other fucking neckbeards that
Yeah,
live in their parents' basement. Give me a break. These aren't friends of his. These are people that would probably turn on him if he said one thing
for
that was
sure.
out of character.
It's all or
Nobody's
nothing.
loyal to these
There's
fucking
no
It
gray
is.
area with anything. It's everything is
No,
either you're a
no
Nazi
nuance.
or you're my hero. We're dramatic.
Right.
We're dramatic.
People love what you say. They're binaries and generalizations. It really is true.
Yeah, I hate it.
It really is true. There is no middle ground. That's crazy. You saw his face contort. And it's like,
I know.
wait. He started to short circuit. I'm like, calm down. What is your mission?
Yes.
Like, he's making us autistic people look bad. I wish he would just what the fuck up. Holy shit.
He's not one of the
man.
main
I
camp.
get being critically. No. Even the neurodivergents are gonna start fucking.
They don't
having
accept him.
Subcultures within subcultures. No, you're not one of us anymore.
I feel like
get
they already
some of
do
those.
have that.
They
I'm just not
absolutely
exposed to it.
Thanks to Twitter and whatever else. Most of those people are self-diagnosed anyway. Just their like personality is neurodivergency. I can't stand that shit. Like, oh, they even on the pages. There's pages. There's one. It's called like Life in an Autism World, and they'll be like, oh, I have to find an example. And it'll be like some very vague personality trait that everyone does.
Yeah.
And it's like, so when did you find out you were autistic? I'm like, wow, why don't you boil this down to something so, like, just something so silly, really? They're boiling it down to this one character trait.
Getting
that has
uncomfortable
nothing to do with
in
it.
social situations doesn't inherently
you're
mean that
so
you're
neuro.
autistic. Maybe you just are uncomfortable around, like, maybe that's not, maybe
It's
that's
just a break.
normal. Maybe that's a
Fucking
normal
break.
thing. Where'd this one torch come from?
Right.
Oh my god.
Right.
Anyway. All right.
Anyway, that's. I mean, it's basically 11.
Yeah.
So let's
Yeah.
call it there.
All right.
But,
Good job. Thank
yeah,
you.
we got through 15 more minutes.
Wow,
That's
jeez.
awesome.
And we went back.
Wow, that's it. That's good though. That means that most of the content is our own.
Well, and it means
Exactly.
we're
Backing.
breaking down the important thing. Like, we're not just,
And that.
we're not being hypocrites and going, oh, black
Hopefully.
and white. We're actually discussing the nuance of it, which is good.
Yeah, we're either doing that or just going on
Wasting
tangents.
time. You're talking about Hitler every time. Yeah. Oops. Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he was slightly relevant to this
He
country.
was also talking.
He was
pretty-
very-
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yay, for once I'm bringing him up when it matters and not just at,
Wow.
at bars when people
Wow,
are
do you
talking
bring him up? Hey, what do you bring him up often, Andrew?
What do you do for a living? And then
Yeah, do
two
you have an
sentences later.
obsession?
I did. So I do because I use them as the complete dramatic thing that I know everyone will agree with. Like if we're talking about cooking, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
well, but it's bad. Is it Hitler? Like I don't. That was a terrible example. I just want to log off. I
Well,
give
I
up.
like going to the extreme of something and then working backwards from it
Yeah.
because people go, well,
Yeah.
that's crazy. They go, okay, all right, now work backwards.
Here's
from
a
it.
scenario
You know,
you
it's a
agree
silly
with.
example.
So now I've
Right.
got to.
That's
Yeah.
what you have to do to find common ground with people.
You
is You
do.
have to like go almost extreme.
Have to go to their.
Not extremist, but you have to go to the polar end of one side of the whatever spectrum of something and go, okay, can we agree that murder is wrong? Okay, all right. Now let's work back. Almost like a child. You almost have to treat people like children
Kind of.
now. Like you almost have to not talk down to them. I don't seem like an asshole, but a little bit. Just because they're so either incapable, like incompetent, I try to give them the benefit of the doubt and go that they are capable of it. You know, which I don't know if that's any better to assume that they're just being disingenuous. I don't know what's worse. At least if you're incapable, it's an intelligence issue. It's not your fault. Your brain, your IQ's too low to understand what I'm trying to say. That at least I can forgive.
Oh.
But if you're just so willfully ignorant that you won't even consider what I'm saying because it threatens your worldview, like, go play in traffic. I don't really know what else to really say.
I guess we're just gonna have to agree to disagree.
Agree to disagree. Fuck you. Can't stand that. No, we don't have to agree to disagree.
Yeah.
I guess we can.
I disagree to
Why don't
disagree.
we agree on anything? Agree to agree. How about that? Let's be optimistic. We'll
Yeah.
agree to agree.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
All right.
We'll
I'm
agree that you're
Andrew.
wrong.
That's Daniel. You're
Yeah.
Adam.
I'm
your
Daniel,
mom.
the shadow spell.
will you
That's my
speak for me
change
now?
from the magical orrery to the shadow spell because I'm a virgin.
Ugh.
I'm an engaged
Oh.
virgin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you suck. Engaged virgin. 40-year-old virgin.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't.
I'm a
Did you have
cuckold.
any viewers, Andrew?
I think I had some sporadically. Sometimes people log on and then they'll realize that we're talking about Hitler and they'll log off.
Yeah, they go, what
And
the
they'll go,
fuck? I just want
whoops.
to unwind a little bit.
Like, oh no, this isn't what I thought it was.
No, yeah. You came to the
Well,
wrong
I
place.
guess I don't know if you have someone creeping in your chat who's not commenting. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks for putting up with
Yeah,
this nonsense.
maybe we'll keep covering this, or we'll do it offline. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
And we'll
all
post
any
it.
future people.
Thank you. All right, I'm ending mine.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right,
Hope your
mine is stopping
waitresses and
by.
waiters.
Bye. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
All right, it's done.
Good job, fellas. I think we did good.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a good one. And I also... Oh, never mind.